Right, so welcome everyone to Free Agents, our RPG set within the Beacon Space setting. While the main game, the faction turn of Beacon Space, is set dealing with the giant factions and political organizations in Beacon Space, our game is set in the Penumbra. That's the grey area of society, the shadows, the place of plausible deniability, where individuals known as free agents participate in missions on behalf of clients to do things that other people cannot. They've fallen through the cracks of society. They're specialized operatives with special skills. And we have a team of free agents who will be partaking in such a mission today. Now, at the end of last session, you were all on a spaceship fleeing some heat. So let's cut in on that now. You've just escaped from the fabrication facility. Leofrich, you are piloting the ship.
Yep.
And you get a message from Handler Wolf telling you that the assembled Commonwealth they've got your number. They know what's going on. You're in hot pursuit. But he directs you to head to the Hex 1210 healer system, which you would know to be the home of Kardakuk, which is the home planet for the Concord of Mutual Disdain. It directs you there. And going there, you find the space station there that is the mission hub for free agents. These are somewhat common throughout the sector, places where Penumbra agents are safe to hide and lay low. So while you're in the healer system, the four of you, what are you doing while you're laying low within the healer system? Where do you go? What's the type of things that you seek out while you're waiting for the heat to be off you a little bit?
I mean, this is also Nakora's home system. Since we're like laying low, like how much can we move around and travel?
Well, you're outside of the assembled Commonwealth jurisdiction, so you're basically free. You're just trying to avoid travel or anywhere that they could get your hands on you in the meantime.
Yeah.
Liverage, I stay on the ship a lot and mainly clean up all the mess that was made and fix any bits that were broken from the fight with the fighters and stuff, and generally do like a lot of maintenance and keeping the ship nice and ready to go.
Spend your time repairing the ship.
Yeah.
Nikora, do you go home at all?
Well, the Krahoon kind of shun people who go out and explore a lot, but he probably goes. There's like an orbiting station that people go to speak to them. He probably goes there and he feels some sort of allegiance to his people still. So he probably just like reports like just some stuff that's going on in the galaxy and hope it gets to the right authorities.
Do you meet any other of your kind in the Naut suits on this station? How often do you see others of your kind?
Probably not too often, but also like unless they're also traveling Krahoon, they aren't gonna really want to speak to him. So
All right, very good. Bloodwind, what do you get up to while you're waiting? What does Bloodwind do? He has some downtime.
So they're probably kind of the first thing they do is like kind of in-depth report type deal of the last few days. Like not sent anywhere, just kept entirely on their own systems, but the kind of thing that Bloodwind does. And then once that's done, I think they go they don't stray too far because their main drive is to keep exploring, finding new interesting things to happen. So they're going to stay kind of close to the possibility of new jobs and and an easy ship to get somewhere. So I think they stay on the station, and I guess start searching through like records and stuff for interesting information, or wandering through kind of whatever kind of like shopping, whatever kind of shops are available on station, just to see if there's anything that kind of catches their attention.
Dates from around the sector.
Exactly.
Let's have a look. Let's see. Can you give me a difficulty 4 intellect roll, please? And this is just for what you've heard through the sector during this downtime. Uh-oh.
Great. Perfect.
Good start. Good start.
Getting the nat ones out early.
Let's see. First, take an XP.
Yep.
And you may grant an XP to someone else on the team.
Okay. Well, I think I'll give it to Seymour Valentine since it's the first session.
Ooh. I'm going to play with you guys more often.
Yeah, you can mark an XP. So, tell you what, let's RP this out. How? Okay. Right. So you searching for information, you attract some attention that you're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Seymour, you get a ping that someone is trying to access information that they shouldn't from like your personal information store on the station. Someone's trying to access your accounts.
Now wait a goddamn minute. Yeah, I go for bore. Like I slap my neck. The like gas mask pops up. I'm assuming it's someone who's hunting me from my past. So like I have my revolver in hand, and I imagine that I was probably staying up in the cheapest, most cockroach infested motel, and I just like burst out of the room, and maybe I even like sprint into them by accident.
Yeah, so you're in this free agent hub station, which is like it used to be a mining rig, and it's been converted into this Penumbra friendly way station, kind of like a Tortuga-esque kind of environment. It's kind of a free port. It's on the edges of accepted society. It's a little rundown, though there are definitely authorities on board who will take issue with anything excessive. But you're at a data terminal, which the data terminals on the station all have access to the Penumbra network, which is the network that piggybacks on top of the rest of the universe's infrastructure to communicate with agents, run the communication systems that agents know how to use to get in contact with each other. Yeah, and you find Blodwin at one of these terminals looking for information around the sector. Yeah, you know that he's just tried to access like your private files, and you bump into each other.
Yeah, as quietly as possible. Like I would like hold the gun somewhat menacingly, but I'm not like jamming it up. I'm not trying to jam it up next to him. Like I've got it next to me, and I'm like, "You with Destino?"
So I'm going to lean into my inability with awareness there. I'm gonna eyes on the computer, like I guess like just scrolling through a random database of information, and like kind of completely casually, like I'm not sure I recognize that name.
Yeah, I think. Oh boy. I think I like flip the gun around in my hand, so I'm holding onto the barrel, and I like tap your shoulder with the handle because like I'm preparing like worst case scenario, I'm gonna pistol whip you, and I'm like, it's polite to look a gentleman in the eye when you're talking to him.
And you see a kind of sort of like sits up straight. Oh, sorry, I hadn't realised I was ignoring you. And turn, and I guess like full on like swivel chair spins around to look at you. Are you aware that you're holding your gun incorrectly?
Yeah, I think I like stop, I look at you, and like I scratch the back of my head with like the handle of my revolver, and I'm like, son, you're either brave as all get out, or you are an idiot. You digging around on a free agent station?
Is there any better place to find information?
I mean,
you both notice what's on the screen is it's a report. It's from the it's from Sekli Zelo, Boston Germantide Yappel, who is a member of the Concord Mutual Estate, and you'd both recognize that individual as the Concord representative to TTGI, to the Telas Terror Group Initiative in the center. And it's a report detailing recent expansion and military military arming from the Concord of Mutual Disdain. They've recently significantly increased their military abilities and have been spending a significant amount of money on that aim. And you find that they've also been expanding to new bases in systems that have been recently explored at the edge of the sector. That's the information that is on the screen.
I think Bloodding kind of gestures at that screen as like, see? Interesting information to be found.
huh. Now, I'm not saying I can't read, but you mind telling me what all those words mean?
I think Bloodding basically goes from like slightly disinterested stranger to full-on history teacher. It enters full flow and kind of breaks down and starts to break down the entire kind of like political structure of the sector, and it gets to a certain point and they go, hang on, I need something for this, and they flip open their wrist computer and start tapping away, and then the screen behind them changes to a map of the sector highlighted in colors. Basically, this becomes like this is a lesson that's been prepared by a teacher that cares far too much about this topic.
Yeah, I think Seymour like sits down in a very wide stance, like you're in a public transportation in a multi-seat area, and he like spreads his knees wide so that way nobody else can sit next to him, kind of stance.
Mm-hmm.
And like at first he's like just nodding and being like, oh wow, this is so boring, but like I think he might even get caught up in the enthusiasm. Like I think he actually starts nodding along and he's like, oh, okay. Now say that part again. What was that part about these two factions? And he like points at the map. And after a while, like I think he's like, all right, Poindexter, this is real interesting, but I'm a little down on my luck right now, and something's telling me you're not the only man on this station doing jobs of your crew. You got other people with you, or you running solo?
I think we fade out on that. And Frederick Ziegler, what have you been doing with your downtime?
I think I found the closest local establishment, or the equivalent of, and immediately started a fist fight.
So I think right as you ask, is there anyone else that you're doing missions with? You see Frederick Ziegler being ejected from a bar across the way from wherever you are. Two of the station, not police exactly, because police aren't really something that this station would find particularly affable, but definitely enforcers or bouncers for the bar, throwing Frederick's power armored self out. Frederick, you collapse in front of Bodwin and Seymour.
Damn idiots threw me out the pub. I was only having a good time.
Oh, I mean, you do something to deserve that?
I did no such thing.
Um,
Some guy stepped up to me. I showed him what for. They're throwing me out. What's going on here?
Are you sure that the person stepped up to you and that you didn't misunderstand what they were saying?
Well, I could see them, so that's enough, isn't it?
They could. I mean, you can see me. We're not currently fighting.
Yeah, but I know who you are.
Yeah, he says that last part, and I holster my revolver in one part because I'm like, okay, if he's friends with this individual, they're probably not gonna just cream me right here and now. And also because he's in power armor and my pea shooter isn't gonna do anything. And I'm like, so you know Poindexter over here?
Well, I say no. I've been with him a bit. Did some stuff.
Okay. Do you guys have a job lined up by any chance? It's been mighty dry here.
Don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean by job, but
We haven't been given anything since the last one. We are, I believe, supposed to be laying low. At which point, Blob then turns and looks at the power of which I will point out that starting a fight in a bar doesn't seem to be in that vein of actions.
that's what I've done will want.
You would all know, by way of course. The four of you that were on the previous mission will have been handed over from Agent Handler Wolf, who handles Telas. And you'll all know, Seymour included, that for the healer system, it is the Agent Handler known as Greek Fire, who runs this station and who organizes the Penumbra network in the local area. And it's very suspected that Greek Fire is a local from Kardakuk, is a member of the Concord of Mutual Disdain. That's the rumor, but none of you have ever met them directly, as is the way with the agent handlers.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, sorry, you go?
Yeah, so I think Logan kind of like turns back from that comment in Frederick's direction and says to the fellow that hasn't introduced himself yet, we're waiting on any word from the agent handlers. I assume you're in a similar position.
Oh boy, we're talking about Greek Fire.
I believe that's the general being in charge of this region of space, yes?
That bleeding so-and-so has been telling me I can't do a mission by myself for weeks now. So that's why I'm trying to sign up with a crew. Tin Can over here looks like he can handle himself in a fight. I mean, I'm sure you do something. You got a fourth member, or?
There are two others that were on the last job with us. Well, I say last job, it was our first job together, so yeah.
Okay.
During this time, occasionally Leofridge has been mostly docked in the station and has also been off and about doing things, as is the way of someone with a spaceship. But yeah, you've all stayed in contact, especially because Wolf told you to stick together while you're under investigation. But yeah, you haven't heard word about new missions. You've just been told that you still need to lay low for a while.
Well,
Seymour, what's the last job that you did for Agent Handler Greek Fire in this system?
It was a solo mission, and it was a fairly straightforward snatch and grab. Now, unfortunately, Seymour Valentine is not the best at stealth, which I'm sure will surprise everyone to know. So he kicked open the door. He basically threatened a cashier at gunpoint while he went into the back room, and then because he was doing the mission solo, the cashier then proceeded to call the authorities, and Seymour basically burned. So he was laying low for a while as well, and Greek Fire was not exactly thrilled with him after that.
Very cool. Would any of this been in the news? Would other characters know about that, or was it managed to be covered up by the Penumbra?
Yeah, I think the thing is, like Seymour, when he's doing a job, he wears this atmosphere mask, regardless of like whether or not the air is breathable. So the thing is like, for the most part, his identity was kept hidden, but like the news headlines would be like, "Rampaging cowboy robs 7-Eleven?" question mark. And so like he's got a reputation, but I think he's just barely ahead of his identity being out there.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So Seymour is introduced to our group, and I imagine, well, you can tell me. Do you take up residence with on Leah Fritch's ship? Are you introduced to the rest of the group? What happens for the? It's several weeks until you get a ping from Greek Fire, so you're all free to spend money, spend XP for advancements if you have 3 XP or more. You can tell me what you're doing for the next couple of weeks while you're just laying low on this rundown station with not a lot to do.
I think Ziegler's going to spend the entire 3 weeks stood outside that bar he got thrown out of. Just
I think you spent several days in the equivalent of the spaceship brig, but it's not worth the trouble to keep you there, so they keep letting you out and throwing you back in. Yeah.
So you need 4 XP to take an advancement, right?
Let me check.
So yeah, to like a
Yes, 4
yeah.
XP. Yep. Sorry, I don't know why I thought it was 3 in my head. Yeah, if anyone has 4 XP, you may spend it on an advancement.
Does that include the XP that I just earned from my 1?
It does, yeah.
Cool.
Was like an intro from the last session, so we'll let you cheat with that one.
Great. I'm going to need to grab my computer that has the rulebook on it, and then I will do an advancement in the background, and then let you know what I'm doing.
I can run them down for you if you want. I have it open.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yep. So there's a few extra ones, but the 4 main ones are increasing capabilities. You gain 4 points to allocate to your skill pools however you wish.
Mm-hmm.
You get moving towards perfection, which means you can add 1 edge to any of your pools.
Mm-hmm.
You get an extra effort, which means the amount of effort you can apply increases by 1, so you can apply 2 levels of effort instead of 1 in your case.
Okay.
Or skills, you can become trained in any one skill of your choice that is not combat related, so other than attacks or defense.
Oh, I'll have to go to modern music rather than classical. I think I will spend my 4 XP to up my intellect edge from 1 to 2.
Cool, fantastic. That is mark that in your first box as moving towards perfection. When you fill out all of those advancement boxes, you get to go up a tier, but no one will be able to do that just yet.
And XP goes to 0 because I've spent it. Great.
Yes. And I know some of you have money. Does anyone do any shopping in their downtime?
Is there any gun shops on this station?
Oh, there's no gun shops, but there's definitely guns to be found.
Rocket traders. What do you mean find? Like literally scavenging, or
as in people selling guns that are definitely legal out the back of their space van.
I'd also try and like
there a
jump in
congregation?
and get some weapons and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
There a congregation of this sort of area? Like a can Ziegler go around trying to start bartering with different sellers?
So you will find a lot of people who are Quetzal and Taret. The Quetzal look like axolotls but humanoid. They have like the big wide smiling faces. They have fins under their arms. They're axolotl people. They look like aquatic lizard people. And then the Taret, who I will just post a picture of because I don't even. I'll I'll post it in the middle of this of the Roll20 scene. Nope, that's not him.
The scientist.
That was a scientist.
Which person
Nope,
died?
that's another scientist.
The scientist is really insistent on being in the scene.
Yeah. One second. Yeah, this is the Tarret. A kind of like mollusk mixed with stingray.
Yeah,
it's
a stingray with a turtle shell.
Yeah, the station itself doesn't have many purely aquatic environments, but if you travel around the sector at all, a lot of it is underwater. Like you'll find ships that are entirely pressurized, not with atmosphere, but with water, because Cardacuk is primarily a water world, and the Concord of Mutual Disdain are mostly amphibious creatures. So you'll find perhaps on the station, you'll find one of these where you'll walk up, and it's like one of those bars that you have at a swimming pool, but the opposite way around. You're dry and they're wet, and they have a bunch of weapons behind the counter, which is a weird gel-like membrane which items can go through, but the water and atmosphere don't mix. So you can find a Tarret who is selling weapons out the back of their spaceship if you ever look around.
All right, well, I want to find one of those and start a conversation up with one. What's your biggest gun then?
I don't think they can offer you anything bigger than what you already have in the form of your heavy shotgun. You'll find I think you'll find weapons that are mostly specialized for underwater combat. Harpoons, including ship-to-ship harpoons, which you definitely can't afford, but are one of the...
When you say ship to ship, you don't mean that like hanging at the back of the ship, one-handed firing.
No, I mean literally a vehicle weapon that grapples another ship in space.
I'm still picturing Cypher just leaning out the open cargo entry, holding a harpoon.
That wouldn't surprise me, no.
So how much are these giant harpoon ship-to-ship guns?
More money than you've probably ever held. You currently have... Let me have a look at my item list. I'm going to put a price on it and then regret it when one of you can afford one sometime.
I'm just wondering how much I can extort this seller.
I'm expecting that if he can't afford this, he is going to make it his character goal to be able to.
Let's see, let's have a look. I've got a weapon that's similar to it already.
Does Leofric still not have a gun?
I've got a gun.
Okay. In the little pre-session, I was informed that you sacrificed everything in order to get a ship. So I was like, "Do you have equipment?" So,
I still had enough stuff to get like a gun and armor and stuff.
okay.
From being a soldier, he got a free weapon and armor.
Nice. Okay.
From the skills that he took. It would cost you 15,000 howl to buy a ship-to-ship harpoon, which you would then have to install on a vehicle. Or attempt to manipulate to use somehow.
Couldn't try and use it.
Just get it mounted to the front of your power armor.
You could try and use it, but I think you'd have to use it from an emplaced firing position. It's not going to be mobile. It's like you trying to buy the top turret of a tank.
Yeah.
And claim it's a handheld weapon.
That sounds like Ziegler to me.
Yeah, that's fair. Can you afford 15,000 howl?
But is this seller in grasp range? Can I start grappling with them?
I think if you try to do that, you're immediately surrounded by their goons and dragged away. I don't think you can... I don't think there's any chance of you being able to attack this seller, no.
Alright, well, how much is a normal harpoon?
Let's have a look. A normal harpoon would just be 1,000 howl.
Can you do better than 1,000 out for this harpoon.
Give me an intellect roll.
Oh god.
Difficulty 4.
The Ziegler's best stat.
Better than my speed.
Woo!
Success. Yeah, I think this Tarret, whose name is. God, they have strange naming conventions. Hang on. Yeah, he offers it to you for 800 howl instead.
Take that.
Yeah, you gonna buy the harpoon? Okay.
Yep.
It is a heavy melee weapon, but it can reach out to medium range. If you
Does it have ammunition? No.
It requires a turn to reset the harpoon and wind it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
What damage is it? Sorry, I just
Damage 6. Yep, so you can fire it, and then if you hit with it, I'll consider the target to be the grappled status effect. And when you reel it in to reload, you can also drag them towards you. This is a thing that exists now. Okay.
And if you don't say "get over here" when doing it, I will be disappointed.
Heavy weapon.
It's turning into Roadhog at this point.
Parrot harpoon.
Oh, heavy shotgun and a harp.
Oh god.
Alright, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Cool. Alright. Leah Fridge, you need to buy anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to try and get some grenades or something, some form of explosives that I can use.
Yeah, absolutely. Standard grenades from the equipment list are available to you in great supply from various sellers. Some more reliable than others. Some of them look like grenades. Some of them look like a rough package of explosives in a plastic baggie with some wires coming out of it. But you can find
Something that is not going to explode in my hand, preferably.
Yeah. You can find both thermite grenades and sonic grenades. The thermite grenade inflicts 5 points of damage in immediate radius. The sonic grenade does 2 points of damage in the immediate radius, but it causes a might defense roll, or the targets lose their next turn, and they cost 500 each.
Ooh.
Or if you want to argue for a different type of grenade, we can come up with one.
That's fine. I'll get 2 thermite grenades.
Cool. All right. Awesome.
Okay. So it's 500 each, yeah.
Yep, 500 per grenade. Yep.
Right, cool. That's me.
Cool. Okay. Does anyone else like to do anything before you get a ping from the agent handler?
How much trouble would I get in if I tried to use a harpoon to reel in that bigger harpoon?
Given you're stood on a space station trying to attack a docked spaceship, I think some kind of blast door or shield would. I mean, you can.
You almost said try.
Yeah, almost got me.
You can always try.
Yeah.
Consequences.
You will not succeed.
In an alternate version of reality, Sir Frederick Ziegler tries this and then is detained by the Concord of Mutual Disdain for the rest of time. But
Ziegler gives it a think with his tiny brain and decides.
yeah.
Cora
So,
arrives back at the Ifrit ship at some point. And a big clanky suit walks in, and Valentine sees a strange clanky suit man.
Man.
so sometime around day 10 of being in the healer system, which, including travel for you, is around day 12 since fleeing the exploding facility. You get a ping from Agent Handler Greek Fire telling you to all assemble around a Penumbra terminal and put in your standard code. Are you doing this on Leo Fritch's ship? Are you doing this somewhere on the station? Where do you go to receive this information from Penumbra?
Question: what has become of the foreman?
Good question. Yeah. What has become of the foreman, Ziegler? He's still on Leo Fritch's ship? What the collective group? What have you done with your plasma cannon wielding?
we're going to
Saved
find
his plasma cannon.
a plasma cannon now. Has that been strapped to the ship or something?
I thought the gas man had claimed the.
Yeah, I thought so.
That's
It is my plasma cannon.
Your
I
plasma
beat him
cannon.
in
Which one?
honorable combat.
Why do I doubt that?
Hey! From my point of view, it was a 1v1. It might not have been from his point of view.
Technically, he had a bunch of help.
Yeah, there was more of them than us. So.
Exactly. They were technically there.
He was the dishonourable one, not me.
I think I've locked him in this cupboard here.
We can let him go, I think.
Can we turn him over to the handlers and see if they can do anything with him?
Yeah, they can get it to the person who hired us for this job.
Send him over to Penumbra.
Yeah.
Make-
Can you
make
take
it clear
his
that
plasma cannon?
I was very
Okay.
upset with this.
Okay, I can give you the stats for the plasma cannon if you are so ready, Mr. Gaseous. Your gaseousness.
Thank you. Yeah.
So it is a super heavy plasma cannon, which is incredibly rare in our setting. Energy weapons are not so much a thing that gets used.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an item of significant value. It deals 8 damage,
Oh.
Nice.
but if you miss, you deal 2 damage to yourself. It uses standard energy cells as ammo, though you'll probably have to adapt them in some way when you use them. It's not going to be a standard fitting. This is I mean, you'd likely suspect a weapon of this type to come from the Beacon Wars, which was several hundred years ago, a few centuries ago. Around the time of the glitch, around the time in the history that's just a little bit past everyone's collective cultural knowledge. This would probably be a relic from one of those conflicts. But yeah, you'd know it to be super heavy plasma cannon, 8 damage, deals 2 damage to yourself from overloading and not really understanding the technology. And,
Does it have ammo? Did you have ammo on him that I start with some of?
The power cell that's currently in it has 8 shots left.
And I'm assuming
You'll
it's a
have to-
heavy weapon.
It's a super heavy weapon.
Super heavy. Okay, so I'm not trained in it.
No, not at all. No, you are very hindered when trying to fire this thing.
Shooting the thing where you have active disadvantages using it, where if you mess it up, it will hurt you. Sounds like a great idea.
I also think I might need to invest in some plasma plating for my armor.
I'll stand behind him when he uses that, please.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was saying go ahead, so go ahead.
Gotcha. Though it's technically not in the rules, if you wanted to spend an advancement on training with the super heavy plasma cannon, I'd probably let you get rid of the hindrance to fire it, but it's always gonna do damage to yourself on misses. Just the nature of operating it.
I'm fine with it for now. I'll unlock practice with super heavy weapons at some point, I'm sure, somehow.
If you'd like to, you can purchase more ammo for it on the station by finding a battery pack and...
Nah, 8's enough.
Alright.
I only need one shot with it.
Yeah, 8 might be too many. You could kill yourself in one.
Cool. So Foreman Harris is given over to... you never see the exchange, but you're told to drop him off in a location, and next time you check he's not there, so you assume Greek fire has picked him up and is being sent somewhere around the Penumbra.
I tell him to spread the name Captain Caesar of the Rubicon.
His gaseousness, their gaseousness, Captain Caesar of the Rubicon.
Yeah.
Which you still have a bill from from
Oh,
a
how much
pledge
is the
episode
bill?
too. Oh, whenever it catches up with you, we'll find out. I don't know if
Expensive,
I'll be able to track you down.
Considering the damage that was done to the spa while we were there,
That was not my fault.
but you were claiming responsibility for the group when we did it.
I'll sue them if they try and charge me for it.
I'm sure that'll go well.
So, sorry, where do you assemble for to get this information from the agent handler pinged you to be ready?
Get it on the ship.
If we have a
Yeah, if we have an access on it, then
Yeah, you've got communications on the ship. You can tie into the station's network, and you're capable free agents. You know how to access the coded phrases and the sub-carrier waves to access the frequencies of the Penumbra. You can tie in. You get a ping to your ship, the CS Wanderer, and let me pull. Do you let Mr. Seymour onto your ship? Do you make him wait outside on the station?
yeah, I'd let all these others on the ship. And what's one more?
All right, Seymour, you're introduced to the CS Wanderer. Leverage, why don't you describe your ship to Mr. Valentine a little bit?
Yeah, it's it's a pretty common ship. Like you probably see them all the time. Like it's usually just like a little free merchant. Yeah, it's got one gun on the front, little rotary machine gun thing. When you get on board, it's pretty clean. It's very like everything's stored away, and it's not like some ships where you come on and it's like an absolute mess. It's all like quite like military fashion, sort of fastened away and secured and stuff.
Yeah. When Seymour first takes a step on, he whistles appreciatively. And like even though like it could be a standard like ship of the line, I think he starts like complimenting it. Like he hasn't seen a ship that would allow him on board in weeks, if not months. So he's like, "This might be the best goddamn ship I've seen in my entire life." But he's not being sarcastic, yeah. And like he starts immediately talking with you, like you get the vibe that he's that like normally when he's picked up on a crew, he's sort of like the guy who does all of like the grease monkey stuff. So he's like he immediately starts getting in, and he's like, "So how are you compensating for the exhaust here?" And he just starts immediately like having that conversation.
No, it'll start like going with you as well, and like start talking about stuff, and start talking about like how he's adapted this and like lowered down the inertial dampeners so you can get a bit more speed and a bit more like whatever out of it and stuff. Like it's very like mechanical minded as well, like sort of thing.
Yeah, you say that, and he's like, "Finally, someone who talks my language. That blood man. He was talking about politics or I don't know, history or something. I didn't know what he was talking about, but it sounded good. You, man, I'm gonna stick with you."
Are we bringing waifs on board now?
I don't know what he just said.
This is a station full of other Penumbra agents. It seemed logical that another arm with a gun would help us.
An extra hand is always worthy.
Two arms, to be fair.
Well, for right now, your gaseousness, and I do like a bow with like an arm twirl, and I'm like, "Never know how many you're gonna have at the end of the run, don't ya?" And I like do a like playful like punch to your suit of armor, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, huh."
The incoming message blips, there's a header from Agent Handler Wolf saying, "I know you've all been anxious to get back to Telas and get home. Here is a mission that should help you achieve that." And then you have a message from Agent Handler Greek Fire. The subject is Interhex Pest Control. The body of the message reads, "The Amicable Accord Transit and Trade Truckers Union in Gila 1210 has grown increasingly frustrated and desperate due to a series of coordinated strikes on their transport ships while docked in FTL transit. This has only occurred on the largest of ferry ships, the Concorde Concourse, direct route to Center 0909. They have put an open bounty for any information regarding the thieves and who they work for. In addition, a scheduled transit of high-value goods is due in 6 standard cargo dock rotations. Information about this shipment and passage aboard is granted upon accepting this assignment. It lists the reward as 2,000 howl for any information regarding the thieves and their organization, and 6,000 howl for successfully preventing the robbery of transport ship Red Morning Rise."
Well, I don't think I've ever done combat whilst on a transit. Certainly sounds interesting.
6,000 how? Yes, please.
This is suspiciously well paying, I must say.
It's transit.
Garand, you would know transport between hexes to largely be done through giant FTL gates while attached to ferry ships where other ships dock to it and then it jumps through due to FTL transit being arduous, long, crowded, and while easy, it just takes a long time to get to it. And you'd also know truckers, just the collective term for various individuals, organizations that tend to be unaffiliated, although everyone has links to politics somewhere, that are the backbone of interstellar trade. And you'd know the Amicable Accord Transit and Trade Truckers Union to be one of the larger ones that operates in between Gila and Telas. You know them to be associated with the Concorde, who have only very recently reached out to the larger galaxy. So it was not always called the Amicable Accord Transit and Trade Union, but has recently come under the purview of the Concorde. Assuming you accept this assignment.
Actually, no, Cal. We're gonna reject it. Give us.
All right, fantastic. What do you do instead?
We'll accept it.
I would like to invade the planet of the gas people.
Okay, cool. All right, let me cut over to that battle map that I had prepared.
Sigma's up for that plan. Yeah.
The finding out if there's what's going on and combat in space sounds like a thing that we can do.
I am a good investigator, as you learned before. Are there any spars to attend?
Cleaning robots.
There are many spars on board the transport ferry, I'm sure.
Well, I assume it's in 6 rotations. There's much more information we can gather without boarding yet.
Yeah.
True. Yes,
So,
I think the way the conversation's going, I think Lauren will lean over and hit the accept button because we practically accepted at this point.
yes. All right, fantastic. As a result of accepting a free agent assignment, you can all take 1 XP.
Woo!
Ding, ding, ding. And you'll all be familiar with this, but this will be the first time for Seymour Valentine. You all get to roll on the Cyphers table.
Well, I never used my Cypher last time.
Yeah, but you build it as long as you don't use them.
Let's have a look.
So I lose it? Is that what you just said?
So
you don't use it, you keep them. You can have theoretically 1,000 of them and use them all.
Well, I have a Cypher limit of 2.
But
You should also, as well as your monohorn, you should have an advanced gyroscopic design, which you gained last time.
What did that do?
Yeah.
Additional asset for balance or precision is what I've got written down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The plus
Even if it exceeds 2 assets as well.
Yeah, even if it exceeds the limit for easing, you can ease an additional time. You do have a limit for 2 ciphers, so when you roll this time, you can choose to replace one that you already have, or to not accept the one that you roll this time. And for Seymour, this will be the first cipher that you receive.
Yay!
and,
So, sorry.
and because I've used the armor reinforcer, it's just there for like tracking, so I don't actually it doesn't actually count anymore, right?
Yep, for history, yep. Yeah. We'll keep a list of the ciphers everyone have, because it is the cipher system. It's part of the fun of the game.
Can you just repeat again what the gyroscopic thing did? Because 3 of you tried to say it at the same time. I didn't really.
Copy and paste into chat if you want.
Yeah, that'd be best.
I can put it in Roll20 if you want. Like,
Yeah, put it in chat.
I like that it rolled the dice.
Cool.
This was an advanced gyroscopic design that you discovered in the production facility and looted from the headquarters. So you've all got some knowledge of advanced balance and precision that you can use. Right, let's start with Seymour as our cipherless space cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you roll a 1d3 for me?
1d3.
3, okay. You are rolling on the fantastic table. If you could roll a D100 for me, please.
Hopefully bigger is better.
97. It's not so much. They're all
Okay. I instantly explode.
I meant to give the cipher table as a handout, but I didn't have time to do it. 97 is weapon enhancement, which is
GM.
Yes.
Nikora, they're making lewd jokes. I table or I motion to ban them, please.
Weapon enhancement. It modifies a weapon's attack in a particular fashion for 10 minutes per cipher level. Roll a D100 for the modification. Okay, so to your ciphers, you can add weapon enhancement, which is level 1d6 plus 2.
Okay.
And then roll another D100 for me. 45. Deals bonus acid damage equal to cipher level.
What?
Lovely.
So whenever you activate this cipher, your attacks will deal additional acid damage for 1d6 plus 2 times 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. No idea how you do that, but that's the fun of ciphers. Right, let's go to Sir Frederick Ziegler. If you could roll a 1d3 for me, please.
This is when I reveal my revolver is actually a water gun, and the weapon enhancement is just an acid round.
3. You are also rolling on the fantastic table. A 27. You have a gravity nullifier.
What?
That doesn't seem like a safe thing to give to Ziegler.
It is a 1d6 plus 3 level cipher. If you just add this to the ciphers in your character sheet, unless you already have 2, in which case
I'm going to remove one of the add-ons for this. So.
Okay.
What's it called? Gravity.
A gravity nullifier, and the effect is for 1 hour, the user can float into the air, moving vertically up to a short distance per round, but not horizontally without some other action. The user must weigh less than 50 pounds per level of the cipher. So you might fail, given you weigh around 250 pounds, I would guess.
1d6, what was it? Plus
1d6 plus 3, yeah. So you have to roll at least a 2, or this just fails and you feel yourself lighten a bit. Yeah.
Floating, he walks like an astronaut on the moon.
Yeah.
I'm going to remove the radiation spike for that, I think.
Cool, okay.
I was also going to ask, just wanted to, separate to the ciphers, with the harpoon, am I trained in that? Because I'm trained with...
You're trained in... You're trained in all weapons, yeah.
So I'd do the harpoon, would I?
Say that again?
I'd be trained with the harpoon or the attack if I...
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so trained just means that you're not hindered when you try to fire it. You're not specialized in it, but you don't take a penalty for using heavy weapons.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure it was...
It's all good. And even though it's medium range, it is still a melee weapon.
For the sake of flavour, I'd use the radiation spike while on the ship for no good reason.
Randomly triggers it.
I think that was a subtle cipher, so that's some kind of internal radiation that just finally falls away and you lose the ability to reach for it. Nikara, if you could roll a 1d3 for me, please.
Fantastic again.
Everyone on the fantastic table. All right, D100, please.
Nice.
35. Okay, your cipher is instant shelter.
Ooh.
Instant shelter.
I like the sound of this better than the monohorn, not gonna lie.
It's a level 1d6 plus 3 cipher. With the addition of water and air, this cipher expands into a simple one-room structure with a door and a transparent window. The structure is 10 feet by 10 feet by 20 feet, is made from durable, non-flammable material similar to sandstone, and is permanent and immobile once created. This is Liamon's tiny hut.
I'm assuming permanent and immobile is with the caveat that it can still be destroyed. I don't just make...
Permanent and immobile with the caveat that it's made of stone and could be destroyed, yeah. It's not an immovable rod.
No, I don't just make something that can't interact with the world around it anymore.
Yeah, you set this off in the middle of the ship, and Leofrish's ship is just ruined forever. Yeah, all of these ciphers you can find in the rulebook, page 300 and something onwards.
I'm replacing my mana horn for that.
Cool. 380 onwards is where to find these ciphers if you miss what I say. You can look them up yourself. Next up, going up the list, is Leofrich. 1d3 for me, please.
I want.
The first non-fantastic cipher.
1.
What? It's a nuclear missile. Very low
One is
tech.
on the subtle cipher list. You could roll a 1d100 for me, please. For reference for anyone. What was that? Sorry, 87.
87,
For
yeah.
anyone who hasn't interacted with ciphers before, subtle ciphers tend to be a twist of the environment, a hint of luck. Manifest ciphers tend to be a special object or ability, and fantastic ciphers tend to be fantastic, bleed-related, somewhat magical, unexplainable. So, your subtle cipher, 87, is Speed Boost. Which, for you, who is already very fast, kind of makes sense.
Uh-oh.
Speed Boost is a level 1d6 plus 2 cipher. And the effect is adds 1 to the user's speed edge for 1 hour, or adds 2 if the cipher level is 5 or higher. You can up your speed edge temporarily in a pinch as a subtle cipher, just a focus of your will or a quirk of having had your Weetabix that morning.
I might keep my tissue regeneration one.
Mm-hmm. That's very fair. All right. So you feel the potential to go faster and decide that you'd rather keep Wolverine-esque healing.
Mhm.
And finally, we come to Bloodwin. You could roll a 1d3 for me, please.
2.
A 2. That is the manifest cipher list. And a 1d100 for me, please.
21.
21. Density is the name of your cipher, which sounds like an insult, but it's not. Density is a level 1d6 cipher.
Mm.
And the effect is, for the next day, each time the user strikes a solid creature or object with a weapon, the weapon suddenly increases dramatically in weight, causing the blow to deal additional 2 points of damage.
I mean, I'll take it because I've got a spare cipher slot. I'm not sure I'm ever going to use
Yeah.
For the next day, the weapon increases dramatically in weight when used. Okay, perfect.
This is a manifest cipher, which means it's some kind of object or physical thing. What is it that you have discovered that makes your weapon dramatically increase in weight, and how do you have it?
I think it might be like I was fiddling with the like advanced gyroscopic design thing, and in combination with the other kind of like I've got a few kind of weird kind of like technical skills. And I think I figure out something that maybe I somehow accidentally trigger something that I don't quite understand. I just know that it does this thing. And
Cool.
and again, I don't think it's actually useful to me because I don't do melee fighting. But
Maybe you're fiddling with the gyroscope and you managed to switch it onto a mode that's designed for use in atmosphere rather than in space. And when you come into contact, it affects the gravity of the device. Cool. Yeah, so if you punch somebody, it'll be decent damage. Awesome. Right, cool. All got our ciphers. So you are directed to the home station of the Amicable Accord Transit and Trade Truckers Union, which is not so much a station as it is a floating dock in orbit of Karakok, the homeworld of Concord of Mutual Disdain. And you are directed to the ship Red Morning Rise, which is a giant transport vessel. You should be able to see the Red Morning Rise. As you dock on board, you're surrounded by the hustle and bustle of various species. We can recognize them from all across Beacon space. Pretty much all cultures are represented here. You notice that the environment is filthy. The doors are covered in engine grease. There's sparking and electricity arcing through various parts. As you fly past to get to this transit ship, you see banks and banks of various transit ships unloading, loading. You see the workers in like standard, ship worker overalls, and they're smeared with grease, and they're dripping with sweat, and generally, how dock workers, warehouse workers, you would expect them to look. But you do know that the tools and the working parts of the vehicles themselves are pristine. They're polished, they're clean, they're in perfect working order. While they themselves are a bit grubby, their equipment is kept in perfect working order. They clearly care a lot about the machines that they work with. As you get on board, you are introduced to Communications Chief Biles Nailrun. And who welcomes you to dock on the Red Morning Rise.
Very good. We shall be docking soon.
Forward, pilot!
Now, hold on a second. Isn't
Do
this his ship?
you remember this is my ship? Yeah. Yeah, it slides into the.
This is Captain
Whatever it
Caesar. This is my ship.
Yeah.
Caesar,
So,
Nicola does not say that.
Communications Officer Nailron gives you the permission to come aboard and transports you. And as you approach the approach lights, the flashing sequence towards the docking bay, the communication sparks up. Hi, welcome to the Red Morning Rise docking bay. My name is Biscuity Crumbles. What can I do for yourselves? This is while you're on approach.
Yeah, well, we've been given a job to look into some piracy.
Aye, this ship was robbed not last week.
Yeah, that's why we've come here. We want to see if we can track down any information about the people that did it. Maybe stop it from happening in the future.
Why is it yourselves? What are you doing on my ship? This is, while you've been invited in by the communications officer, this Dockmaster Crumbles.
Frederick's just going to start screaming at him. Let some ball.
We want to see what happened so we can maybe track down the people that did it.
Are you having a giggle at my moniker?
Didn't laugh at nothing.
Aye, alright, get on board.
It is pretty unlikely, though, right? I mean, I get that the galaxy is vast, but biscuity crumble. I'm just saying, you know.
I cut the call as soon as I start hearing where that sentence is going.
This is gonna be fun.
So you find yourselves docked within the Red Morning Rise.
I recognise those suspicious boxes.
Just as
Yeah,
pristine on the inside.
Don't shoot those boxes.
It's pristine on the inside with all the machinery and stuff.
So like the floors are filthy, the walls are filthy, but like all the moving parts are pristine, like perfectly polished, perfect working order. Like the doors themselves might be grubby, you put your hand to them and come back covered in oil, but the hinges are perfect. Like they are as if brand new from the factory. They clearly maintain this vessel well, although they could probably pay someone to mop the floors every now and again.
Frederick go to the closest moving machine part and just start cramming gunk into it.
I think you draw some looks, but no one actively tries to stop you.
Well, I'm actively doing that while whatever. Gary.
Steeler, can you just like try and make some friends? Come on, like.
If they're putting effort into making this all tidy, I'm gonna do my darndest to ruin it for them. Nobody can be happy.
The finest example of the Knights of Sea, everyone.
Cool. So as you land in your how does the back of your ship let people out? Is it like a slow moving ramp? Is it a sliding door?
Yeah, like a big ramp, like thing that like
a big ramp. All right, comes down. At the bottom, you're greeted by a burly looking man in again dirty overalls, but with like plastic body armor, covering vital organs, elbow pads, knee pads, got a rifle slung across his back, and he's flanked on either side by and not standard issue, but trucker toughs enforcers stood at either side. Welcome to the Red Morning. What's the name of the ship? Hang on, 1 second.
Red Morning Rise.
Red Morning Rise, yes. Welcome to the Red Morning Rise. I am Head of Security Amos Colfin. I understand you are here from, and he shifts his eyes and looks a little awkward. The Penumbra.
That's correct, yes. We're going to try and help you find out these thieves and try and stop them from getting you again.
He looks a little upset at that. Like his face darkens for a second, and he'll be. I don't need any help from your kind, but the captain wants you on board, so there's not much I can do about it. Yes, we were hit last week. Yes, they took the cargo and ran. I don't. And as is complaining at you, you're walking and talking towards like the living area for passengers, which it's very cramped. It's not exactly designed for passengers. But yeah, as he's walking along, he expresses, yeah, I don't need your kind from the Penumbra. My security team are prepared this time. Last time was a fluke. They will not get past me again.
How exactly did they get past you last time, if it was a fluke?
They took us in transit. Never seen anything like it. Middle of an FTL. In those tunnels, you're not even supposed to be on your feet. We're all strapped into our acceleration chairs. And they came through from the docking bay, from the ferry, the Concorde Concourse, which you would all know to be as a giant ferry ship. It's one of the largest in Beacon space, because Hela is right on the edge of what we would consider sector core, and it's not exactly a direct route back to center. It's 4 or 5 hexes depending on the route that the FTL tunnels allow that day. So it's a giant ferry that only travels sparsely, maybe once a month, sometimes once every 3 months, depending. Mm-hmm. So he describes to you how, while they were docked to this massive ferry ship with thousands of other ships attached to it, they broke through the main seal.
How did they break the seal? Was it physical damage?
Cutting tools. It's clad in golden armor. Weird how they moved. Not like my troops. We're not from the military, but we know a thing or two about weaponry and spaceship combat.
If that were true, you wouldn't have been
Shit.
robbed from, would you?
Did they look trained? Did they, or was it just tactics that you've never seen before?
This man is about 5'11", but he turns and points a finger up at Ziegler, who towers over him by good 6 inches, something like that. I forget how tall you are, but
stupid.
Yeah, all right. He's pointing up a whole foot. He goes, "You knights, you mercenaries, always think you're better than everybody else, but we are making our wage. We are truckers. We are proud of what we do, and I will not stand for you insulting me." He goes,
"Good to have your opinions, but they're not right."
So, do I happen to know any group that wears golden armor like he described?
I mean, wearing golden armor is generic enough that it could be
anyone.
Could be one of dozens. Like, you'd need more specific iconography to.
Have you got any footage of them? Like any cameras that captured them going in, or?
I don't deal with the systems. You can talk to, I don't know, fucking nail run about that later. I'm just here to escort you to the passenger area. And between you and me, it'll be best if we keep to ourselves.
Can I kind of like slip to the back of the group, flip open my wrist computer, and use my hacker ability to just start looking through their network to see if I can find video footage?
I'm not sure you can access it via Wi-Fi, but if you manage to find a place that you can plug in somewhere, then yeah. But I don't think
Their security footage isn't available on the Wi-Fi network. Got it.
yeah.
Actually, to that point, I think Seymour's basically had enough at this point, and he's like, yeah. So where is Communications Officer Nahoran? I don't want to be here any longer than you do, pal.
He kind of huffs, crosses his arm, and goes, "They'll be on the bridge." And then he hits a button, opens like a sliding door, and goes, "Your berthing awaits." And then just kind of walks off with his security officers further into the ship.
So,
can I get like a map of the inside of the ship on my wrist computer though?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's also like physical. You know how ships have like a plaque with their name and then some information about when they're commissioned.
Yeah.
You'll at various points along the corridor, you'll see things like that has a basic map of the ship.
Okay.
And there's basically 4 main areas that you're aware of. There's the command bridge, there's the security department, there's the passenger command bridge security, the passenger berthing. 5 main areas, sorry. There's the cargo/docking bay, which is where you've just come from. And then the engine room. 5 main areas. The bridge security department, which we'll also note likely has holding facilities. Passenger compartment, cargo/docking bay, and the engine room.
Okay. Yeah, I think Lauren will like look through the door to kind of the guest quarters, and then immediately start walking towards the bridge and shoot, as we've just been told that someone we might want to speak to is there.
yeah, I would follow him.
Yeah, we're not getting any help from the security guys, so let's talk to the people in charge.
When you look through into the passenger berthing, you see a Coletl in there, one of the axolotl type people.
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing thick spectacles, which is unusual for a Coletl. They are coloured in vivid yellow, green, and maroon colouring. They're sat in the passenger berthing, one leg up on a bench with like a data pad in front of them, presumably reading the space version of a Kindle, looking at some kind of data or a book. Or yeah, they're sat there, reading glasses down, looking at.
We're walking past this
his bed.
Sorry.
And none of you have gone into the passenger area yet. No, you looked in and saw this individual, but
I'm seeing nerd.
They're all going off. Nikora gets to speak with the nerd boy.
He was dismayed at the fact you're going to talk to them.
So they don't look up at you as they approach. This area is cramped, and it's all. Well, it's a passenger area. There's a table, chairs. There's like a small kitchenette with like a sink and a kettle. You know, there's one of those kind of kitchens that you would find in like an office, you know, for anyone to use. And there's various like stainless steel benches. It's a little cleaner in here. You notice that the very noticeable vents for which cleaning drones might emerge. And, yeah, so there's stainless steel benches, table, this kitchenette. There's some like berthing, like bunks that you'd find on a ship, which are places to have a nap should you so desire. It's a small room, maybe 10 feet by 10 feet all in all. It's going to be a little cramped with all of you in there, but it's the only space for passengers aboard this cargo vessel.
Cool.
So, sorry, is it that we're supposed to stay in these quarters while the ship gets onto the Concord concourse?
You haven't been told to stay anywhere in particular. You know it's going to be about 27 hours before you make it to the FTL point.
Yeah.
In sector.
Yeah, it's just Nakora's gone into the
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah,
friend.
They'll look up and say,
Hello, I didn't know we had other passengers on board.
You're a passenger.
Yes, you may call me Yeovin.
Evan, I'm Nakora.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Nakora. May I ask what business you have on this vessel?
I'm here to spread the word of the creator. What else would I be doing?
The creator?
they look up at you somewhat quizzically.
The only higher power in this universe is money.
Yeah.
Why are you
Oh.
on this ship, good sir?
The cargo is mostly mine.
They say somewhat indignantly. He goes,
You stay away from my boxes. They are very valuable.
Do you normally use this ship?
I have used this union before it was such union. I am somewhat of a rogue, you see. I've been travelling away from Cardacok long before it was sanctioned. I am very experienced in these matters, and you should do well to respect that.
I hate him.
You, I noticed you avoided my question, which is, have you used this ship before?
No, I haven't, although I have used its sister ship.
And you're not worried about the fact that this ship was robbed recently?
Why would thieves strike a ship that they robbed the last time? Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place.
he kind of scoffs at you.
I think the safest place is a place that was just robbed.
What?
It does if there's a lightning rod.
Nice. I give Nikora a high five.
He'll at that it picks up his data pad, puts his knee back up onto the bench, and starts reading again like you're not there.
This guy, don't like him. Prick.
I don't think he likes too much either. Yeah. Who was it that followed Lodding up to the?
I would have gone to the bridge as well.
You going to the bridge? Okay. Hang on.
Yeah, I think everyone but Nikora went up to the bridge, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
Except.
I take back my high five. I wasn't there.
It's a high five in spirit.
Yeah.
As you go up to the bridge, you find the hallways to be very cramped, full of, again, these dirty overall workers, but all of their tools are pristine. Like, if they're carrying hammers, wrenches, they're all shiny and is as if brand new, although clearly they've been used for a long, long time. Various species, although, again, inordinate amount of amphibious sentient species, probably more than any of you have ever seen anywhere else in the galaxy. Aboard this vessel, and as you pass various compartments as well, you can hear through the bulkheads that you suspect large sections of this ship are entirely water rather than atmosphere. And you pass various of these axolotl creatures, You pass several what look to be gazelles, which you know to be natives of, or maybe you wouldn't know. So yeah, you pass various creatures that look to be gazelles. You see various species, some silicon-based, some mostly robotic. You go through the corridors, but eventually you climb up the various deck plates and ladders and get to the bridge. The security officers nod you through. They've been briefed as to your presence. And you make your way into the bridge, which is this. As you go through, you're somewhat taken aback, actually. Or, I mean, I won't tell you how you react, but it's incredibly clean. It's pristine white tile. It seems to be largely ceramic and plastic as opposed to metal. There are these large semi-holographic screens everywhere, and then the large main display screen. And you see 3 individuals at the control station, and it is loud and it is busy with people coming in and off the bridge. The people at the command station are talking to various places, and on the main screen is various graphs, one of which is a slowly filling progress bar detailing refueling. Another is talking about how long until cargo is finished being loaded. Another one is just a live feed of your ship in the cargo bay. Yeah, you see all this information on the screens as you walk in and see the 3 people at the command area.
I head straight for whatever looks like the comms area.
Just to confirm, can you see like the corridor and then the?
It's just a black box that we've got.
It's an entirely black box.
Yeah.
Yes, entirely black.
Okay, that is not supposed to be.
That's everything. Cool.
Cool. So these side rooms would be full of stuff, but they're not. So use your imaginations. Various computer banks, staff in and out, but yeah. So you're directed along this main walkway and then to the control station with the 3 individuals. The side doors you're not permitted access to.
So we step through this white door here.
You step through at the back here. Yeah, this kind of main corridor, and then to here you can get to the main individuals.
Okay, because I think Blottingham beelines for the most important person on the ship and assumes that that's where they are.
Yep. Okay, as you approach, they're incredibly busy, and you're gonna have to get their attention. They're not gonna turn to focus on the people that can stand behind them.
I think, yeah. Well, I think I think Blottingham kind of like steps up behind them and is like, what was the name of the communications officer who was?
Nehoran?
Yeah.
Biles Nailrun.
Oh. Okay, yeah, so I think Blottingham will. I'm looking for a communications officer, Biles Nahoran.
The individual on the map at the top turns to speak to you. That is me.
Yeah, so we're the group that have been given the job to investigate the unfortunate incident that happened on your last transit.
Yes, you must be our private contractors, yes?
Exactly.
Behind me, you see our our grand captain, Captain Josiah Bettencourt, and and he points to the other individual. This is Jeff Ivory Washer, first officer.
Nice to make your acquaintance. We were hoping when we were being escorted to our berth earlier, the head of security mentioned that if we wanted to have access to the security recordings of the incident, that you would be the person to talk to.
He is a cantankerous old fellow, isn't he? The panel behind you. I can give you limited access. You understand I don't want to tell you everything that is occurring. We have our secrets. I'm sure you've seen the cargo being secured. You know, we take discretion very seriously, but you can have limited access from that panel.
Perfect. Well, I'll do my best not to cause you any issues. I'll go have a look at that. My companions may have some questions for you further, though, and I'll wander off in the direction of that panel.
I actually bypass the comms officer and I follow Bloidwin.
Cool.
All right, so you both go over to this blue hololithic panel. It's like an LCD, but it has some surprising depth to it. Like, you can almost say an inch deep. It's almost like a gel, but the idea of texture is more mental than you actually feeling it. It responds to your touch, kind of like haptic feedback on a smartphone, where when you press down, it buzzes. Like there's a bit of texture and feedback that is given to you through more optical tricks than actually being what you can feel. But it feels like a somewhat liquid, gelatinous, semi-holographic screen.
Cool.
And it has red morning rise and like a minimalist image of like a circle with sun rays coming off it, and then 3 lines underneath depicting like a horizon or a sea, or it's like a child would draw a sunrise, but in a clean minimalist style. And then at the top right, it has the logo of the Truckers Union.
Cool. Blondie will kind of step up to tap the screen, I guess, to wake. And the first thing they do is they immediately bring up the video records that they were asking about.
Cool. As you click through the various systems, and you click on like the security section, like a lock flashes on screen briefly. Then Officer Nailrun looks over, taps a few buttons on his screen, and it clicks open, and you have access to a section of recordings from the last time that this ship made the travel to Telas, or coming back from Telas to Gila.
So yeah, I guess begin scrubbing through the video, looking for when they broke through the doors or whatever.
Yep. You get various angles from the different segments on the ship. And as Amos described to you, you see at the aft of the ships where the main docking point was, you see it broken through. The cameras are like flickering, and it's not a great view of this particular section of the incursion, but there's like some kind of interference, some sparking, some light changes, and then the main connection to the ferry is broken, and people in golden armor stalk onto the ship. There's seems to be 4 or 5 of them come in, and they're moving very low to the ground, and they're moving in a strange fashion, like you would imagine people moving through dense underbrush more than people walking through like a spaceship corridor. Like they look trained, but not in a traditional military way. They're clearly moving like in formation, but not like you'd expect a soldier to move.
Okay.
Can we tell if they're humans or if they're still some other species or whatever?
They appear humanoid. Yeah, they're in flashy armor. You can see it's not great resolution on the camera. It's like 16-bit color. It's
Mm-hmm.
You can see like gemstones on their armor, and you can see they pull out short swords slash knives, kind of on that midpoint between being described as either, and they slash the throat of a couple security guards, and then they move in. You can see as they go, they're fighting through various weapons fire, and they make their way to the cargo, and they abscond with several boxes that they drag out the way that they came.
Does the way they fight or like the design of their armor, does it trigger any memories of specific groups of people that I've learned of before, or is it entirely
That is an intellect roll.
okay?
No difficulty, just give me a roll and it'll be however well you do. Is
Cool. Roll of 4.
Yeah, you notice them to be skilled warriors. That's about it, which is obvious from the fact that they successfully robbed and heisted a giant transport ship full of people.
At which point Lodin kind of, I guess, moves that, so it's still on the screen, still like the thing that it would look like they were looking at, and then I would like to use my hacker ability to open another window and see if I can find what it was that was stolen.
Like a cargo manifest?
Yeah.
Sure. Let me read your skill real quick. See if Nailrun would notice you messing with this system.
If he does, I'd like to run interference, just as a heads up.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't say it's unknown, just that you get access. Are you trying to do it in such a way that...
Yeah, I'm trying to do it. I don't want... I'm assuming that it's not information that they want us to have, so I'm going to try and do it under the radar, as it were.
Cool, okay. Let me find my notes real quick.
Because I saw them doing something with their like hacking ability and their palm pad before, I would try and like fast talk Nehoran at this time. I would, as an actual legitimate concern, I'd be like, is there any way that you can pull up all of the ship's transponders so that way we can know what other ships were docked with the Concourse? And like maybe by process of elimination, see which ships are going to be docking with us again a second time, kind of thing.
Cool. I think while you're doing that, we'll go to what's everybody else doing while these two are looking through the security footage. Leo Fritsch and Ziegler, you're on the bridge?
Well, I was just going to start smearing stuff with oil, to be honest.
Just random bits of shit get lost.
Really have much of an aim to it. It's just sort of walking around smearing stuff just to wind people up.
Gotcha, yeah. I think you successfully do wind people up. They give you dirty looks, and as soon as you're done like dirtying a hinge, someone will come along with their rag and like tut at you and clean it.
Yeah, I was just looking over the video footage with them, and then I don't know. I wanted to see if Valentine gets any information out of these guys.
Okay. Nikara, are you doing anything else?
Imagine at this point probably arrive at the bridge. I don't hang back. I'll come here as well. I just wanted to talk to that guy.
Okay.
You don't deliberately spend the next like half hour annoying that guy.
No.
Cool. Yeah, so I think to do it without Nailrun noticing is going to be difficulty 5. Be an intellect roll.
Okay.
Can me running interference be an asset?
Yep, you're helping or distracting Nailrun, so it'll be difficulty 4.
Oh, I see.
Can my risk comp count as an asset to bring it?
Definitely, so that makes it difficulty 3, which is the most you can get from equipment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that helps me figure out how to start stuff, but this has already started, so...
Cool, alright, difficulty 3 intellect roll.
I think I'm going to drop... I can only do one effort at a time at the moment, can't I?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, I'll do one of those so it will become that is something I have to do in the role. So it's difficulty 3, submit, and then I'm adding 1 effort.
Smashed it. For the listeners, you rolled a 12.
Which would be difficulty of 4, but luckily we didn't need to be that something quite that hard.
Spend 3 intellect to play effort.
Hopes.
Yeah.
Yep, done.
Oh, you have an edge of 2, so it's only 1.
Yeah, that's.
Sorry, you are absolutely right. Sorry, my bad.
I thought I was right.
Yeah, you were. Apologies. Right. Yep. So you managed to access the cargo manifest successfully for that trip, successfully without Nailrin knowing. And you will note that the boxes, while officially are various trade goods from Telas to Gila, you'll note that there is a note that some of it has to be kept very chilled. It's full of perishables. It doesn't say specifically what, but it says very valuable perishables, and there's a bunch of warnings on it telling the staff to be very careful with these boxes, not to shake them too much, not to jostle them, to keep them steady. And yeah, officially the various commodities, trade goods, valuable metals, the hit new snack products, bags of chips, stuff like that. But yeah, it's kept to note that they're to be kept cold and they're to be kept still.
I love NERP's flavored chips.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it's this ore needs to be kept cold and still. That's definitely
Yes.
not. Okay, so it's obviously weird, but there's no notes here that would let me know what that was.
There's also a box. There was a box full of BBTV plushies, but so far as you know, they were not stolen. They were kept on the ship. They didn't take those.
Collectors every year try and say that they're going to be worth something.
Yeah, the bubble is gonna pop one of these days. They just keep going up in value.
Cool. So yeah, I think one takes a copy of that onto their risk comp, so that they can not forget that information, and then I guess closes that down, removes traces of the fact that they did it, so that it's not to avoid it coming back to haunt them, and then I guess it returns to looking at the footage and trying to jostle some memory that doesn't exist about who these people might be.
While you're looking at this cargo manifest, which is from 6 weeks ago, it was the last time that the ferry made its way, and it's been refueling and preparing to go back this entire time. The main pipeline between Talas and Gila is very, very busy and very popular for obvious reasons. You notice that there's like the grayed out button to see the next cargo manifest, and they've done half a dozen jobs in between then and now, just jumps within system between various planets and facilities. The manifest for today is in the system, but you don't currently have access. I think at this point the the individual who stood at like the main panel comes over to you.
Yeah. If they start moving in my direction, it will be closed and gone by the time they get there. It's not.
Very understandable. So comes over to you. It doesn't extend his hand. He kind of puts one hand on each hip, raises his head a little bit. He's got it's not quite a trilby hat, but he's got a larger hat on with a red plume out the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a name badge over his breast that says Josiah Bettencall. His shoulders are gilded, and he has a golden braid down the other side of his breast. He goes, "Welcome to my ship. I am Captain Josiah Bettencall. Welcome to the Red Morning Rise, gentle people." Stops himself from saying gentlemen.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome. I hope that we can do some good work and hopefully catch these criminals.
Yes, well, we're not expecting any further trouble, but I'm glad to know that we'll have additional support if we do. I've been running this ship for nigh on 40 standard Concord years, and it's the first time. Very strange. I've dealt with my fair deal of pirates, but in FTL transit, unheard of. And it is to my shame that I did not dare step into combat with them. I watched from the bridge, I must say. But he points over to the officer who you haven't spoken to yet. First Officer Ivory Washer there was very brave, jumped into combat with them, didn't you, Ivory? And the man stood there, is like, yeah. And he just grunts, shrugs his shoulder, and keeps tapping at what he's doing. But yes, you will come to dinner tonight, won't you? I'm throwing it on account of I'm sure you've met the illustrious Juven Gertrude Muttle, who is with us today. It is a pleasure to meet such a distinguished individual as themselves. You must come to dinner with us tonight.
The other passenger?
Yes, the other passenger. We don't normally take passengers, but obviously present company excluded, and for themselves, they're always welcome. Mr. Muttle is got quite the reputation. I'm glad to have him on board.
Is this the first time you've transported him?
Mr. Muttle? I think I've met at a few conferences. I've seen him. He was on the sister ship, the Red Morning Sunset. Although I wouldn't use that ship if I was you. An absolute joke of a. Honestly, you want eye lads. But yes, you and Gertrude Muttle. Oh, you must have heard of them before. Honestly, their reputation. They are you'll see at dinner tonight. They are, honestly.
Is this the guy that the head of security said was the one who specifically wanted us on the ship?
Yes, yeah. The captain is the one who, yeah.
Okay. I think London will mention. I heard tell from the captain of your security forces that you were rather insistent on our support in discovering who these pirates are. Any particular reason that you were so interested in our services?
He kind of leans forward at his waist conspiratorially and brings up a long finger, and you notice that his fingers are quite long. In fact, he's kind of lanky in general. Like you'd expect to see this from someone who grew up in a somewhat of a lower gravity environment. He's somewhat lanky all around. But yeah, he puts one long finger up to his nose and taps the side of it conspiratorially and goes, well, I'm not exactly a young man, and in my youth I may have, he looks around and does a big stage whisper, Mr. Greek Fire and I. I had a... I know why he's known as Greek Fire, honestly. The stories I could tell you, but I trust his, the Penumbra to be quite reliable. I'm glad to have you. And Amos, well, he's good, but he does think rather inside the box. Yeah, so I'm glad to have your creativity on board.
Well, I certainly hope that our performance justifies your trust.
I'm sure it will, gentlemen. I should know. I'm paying enough for it.
Nakora has a moment of self-reflection where he thinks, "Oh God, am I like that?"
Yeah.
Cool.
Unless if you want to say anything else, then we'll go back to his station. Keep getting ready for make way.
I do seriously want a list of every other. Well, obviously you don't have to list the names of the ships, but I do want to have, like, as an asset, a list of all of the other ships that were being transported that day, just so that way we can, like, check which ships correspond.
Sure. I don't think the Red Morning Rise has that information, but when you dock with the Concorde Concourse, you can attempt to communicate with them.
So, like, the Red Morning Sunrise doesn't, it doesn't keep a log of every ship it comes into contact with, or the ships would have been too far away, you think?
I'm sure it does, but it's been 6 weeks.
So they might have purged it.
Yeah, that information's probably been stored with the authorities and, like, the Concordia Mutual Design ATC, like, pinged all of the ships that were near it. But 6 weeks ago, they'd probably keep a rolling list of about a month and then drop off that information at whichever stations they dock with, so that they don't have to keep it in their data banks. So I'm sure they did have that information, but it was dropped off. But the ferry would likely has who was docked with it.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to Sir Frederick Ziegler, and I'm gonna be like, now, when you were buying that harpoon, you got it from a water guy, yeah?
If you say so, yeah. He was a bit weird. Seemed to be not breathing oxygen like the usual folk.
Do you think these golden armor people, it's maybe because they're keeping water inside the suits? I don't know, man. I'm trying to go from an outside angle here.
I don't know. It could just be power armor.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm quite an expert on having to be inside a suit to live. Can I have a look? Can I have a closer look at them?
Do you like bust into the room as I'm talking to Frederick?
Not at the computer with the video feed, so he, like, waves Nakora over. It's like, yeah, take a look. They just look like maybe a hunting group or something to me, but I don't necessarily recognize the fighting style or the armor.
I make some kind of roll, see if I can recognize them, I guess.
Yeah, so the footage is like running on the screen in front of me.
Yeah. I do have intuition and assessment. So.
It's like 16-bit color. It's not the greatest resolution. Yeah, like, if any of the security staff survives, they'd probably be able to give you a better description. You would imagine than the poor quality video feed, because security cameras are not exactly something they've invested a lot of funds into on this ship. But you can certainly see if you can recognize anything about them with, again, a difficulty 5 roll, which you said your skill, which would make it difficulty 4.
Yeah. Remind me, could I use F on this roll as well? Right.
Yep, you could use effort, which would make it difficulty 3.
And that costs 3 intellect points, right? Like, costs 3 from the pool.
Yeah, reduced by your edge. So
2.
Oh, excuse me.
That'll make it 3, and should be good.
Success.
And that's not my roll.
Oh,
that's my old roll. Yeah.
sorry.
Failed, like a failure.
No, it's just like something in the back of your mind about the way they're moving. Like it's on the tip of your tongue that you recognize something about it, but no, it's there's too much distortion. You can't get like a clear view. It's like when you see a snippet of an actor and you can almost place where you know them from, but not quite. Yeah, you just it's not enough to go off. It's poor quality and chaos and combat, so you can't quite figure it out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would like to suddenly become a CSI computer technician. So that
I mean, yeah, I would ask because the captain said that Ivory Water.
Ivory Washer, Jeff Ivory Washer, second officer.
Yeah, he said that he fought them directly, so I guess I'd go over to him and ask Ivory Washer. You went toe to toe with these guys?
Looks up at you. You what?
You know, you did the
I
do
went-
go. You exchanged the right hook.
Listen, son, I'm not looking to go toe to toe with anyone. We're setting off in a minute.
No, not me. The yellow people. Not. Oh no, that sounded so bad on so many different levels. The gold armored infiltrators. You know.
The kettle are all colours, not just yellow. And
No, I'm talking about the people who came in and robbed the ship 6 weeks ago.
right, you're making a little more sense now. I will admit.
The guys with the guns, bam bang.
Yeah, we were robbed. The media, what, like,
You fought them. Would you see any identifying insignia? Any? I mean, if you were right in front of them.
he exasperatedly, like, fully turns around from Lawrence, goes, "Am I in some kind of trouble?"
If you don't start speaking now, says Ziegler.
Yeah,
Louis.
hold up a second, Mr. Shifty Pants.
Yeah, yeah. I fought him with Amos and the lads. I don't know what you saw them on the tape. I heard Nailerin gave you access. You know, flashy, golden, some kind of like engraving on the chest, different animals.
Oh, come on.
You saying that?
No. Yeah, I just out of character know where you're going with this. I think, but I'm not saying nothing. Now,
okay.
now, I'm noticing you and Amos and the others. You're largely unscathed. Did they look like they knew what they were coming in for? Was this surgical, or were there casualties?
Unscathed. He pulls down the corner, like the hem of his dress uniform, and you see like a bullet wound through his shoulder, or you can
Make that
Appreciate
right. You don't
to
start
be-
speaking more, boy.
come out when he goes, "I got shot defending this vessel. You're not gonna impede my reputation. Amos and the lads did fine, but they were outmatched. These were professionals. They hit us hard. They hit us fast. They knew where the cargo was, and they it was over before we knew. We got attacked in FTL. You know how unlikely that is. That I've never even heard of it happening before." He gets very upset with you and continues to rant until you interrupt.
I don't think I do. What I'm trying to do is I'm basically so my initial suspect was Nahoran, he seems just like a goody two shoes pencil pusher. I'm trying to like read. I'm trying to read Ivory Washer now. Like I'm just trying to be like, okay, he's the number 2. Is it possible that he like helped plan this? Like, is there somebody on the inside? Is where I'm trying to go with this.
Let's see how good you are at reading his behavior. Why don't you give me an intellect roll? Difficulty, let me check the stats for Mr. Ivory Washer. Difficulty 6.
Oh, one of my skills is understanding magic, and the other is initiative. So I don't think those are helping.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You should definitely apply on understanding magic to this one.
Yeah, definitely. And you said it was intellect?
Yeah, intellect is kind of like to understand people, charisma, empathy.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna roll it straight. Yeah, I'm not gonna apply any effort for this. Oh
Can I
no!
be here? Because this is also kind of my thing. But
I mean, it's too late
Well,
now.
Yeah, first I have to deal with my GM intervention here.
So take an XP,
Cool.
and you can choose someone else on the team to give an XP to.
Oh, my brain is bad. Bloodwin did me a solid by giving me an XP earlier, so I'll give him 1.
Thank you.
The circle of experience. Yeah. So I think you've insulted. You can't get a read on him. He's just insulted, and like your flashiness. He can tell that you're like you think you're hot shit, right? You're good, and you know that you are, and it's upset him that you've asked him about his recent failure.
Right. Does he?
And all you're reading is just like anger and some contempt and annoyance that he is literally 2 minutes from having to set off, which is the most perilous part of the journey. And, asking him about that time him and his lads got beat up. So yeah, he's just upset with you.
Not to make it too bad, but could I actually say maybe he has me detained?
If you're volunteering to get sent to I don't think they'd detain you because the captain, your special guests, like he's upset with you, but he doesn't care about you enough to detain you.
Okay, so I've made a personal enemy, but I have not made a like systemic enemy.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Gonna just put a little star next to this name.
Yeah. First officer Jeff Ivory Washer has personal ire against you and the band.
Negative.
It was kind of a grumpy sort to start with, so yeah.
Listen, I'm not calling him the imposter, but I am saying he's sus.
I mean, none of us have actually said this out loud because I don't think any of us want to tip off the crew, but like, someone's definitely in on this, right? Like, that's the...
It has to be. Mm-hmm.
Well, if they knew where the cargo was, like, without like, having someone else on the ship, then... Yeah.
We've all unknowingly not... Like, all of us have come to the conclusion someone on the ship is in on it, but we have not communicated that to each other yet. But I think we all realise we're on the same wavelength.
Well, I mean, Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
To metagame a tiny bit, I promise this is my last table talk. The security systems are terrible. So once we go back to our quarters, assuming it's not been independently bugged, we could probably talk about it freely there. So.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's hard to bug places that Bloodin's in, but it's hard to bug places that Bloodin's in.
Did the thing say that like other ships had been robbed and stuff, or is it just this ship that's been attacked?
The
job.
The Union in general, and presumably some ships that are not of the Union, but they wouldn't know that, have been targeted. So not their sister ship, but this ship was hit before. some other minor ships. So Helus, the Hex, has 2 adjacent hexes with significant planets, Menta and High. And you would know, as part of like the package that Greek Fire gave you, that smaller transports between those have also been hit while within FTL. They always strike while in the middle of FTL transit, which is incredibly unorthodox. Yeah. So it's not just this ship, but this ship has very valuable cargo, and if they were going to hit anywhere, it would be here.
Mhm.
Yeah. And on that note, let's take a 10-minute break.
Sounds
I'm
good.
back at 25 past.
Cool. See you then.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Become healthier. Become stronger. Become smarter. Become better. At New Eden Gene Bank, we offer plans and opportunities for people like you who want to break their limits and rise to new heights. Visit your local branch today for a consultation. New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you. Proud sponsors of BBTV.
I think we fade in from the mid-roll advertisements. If you or your loved ones have been diagnosed with donkey brain disease, side effect, and the adverts fade out. Sponsored by the New Eden Gene Bank. We fade back in. The camera pans around the passenger area. We see you all cramped together in this brushed stainless steel, quote unquote, comfortable passenger environment with Yeovin, the axolotl, the Cletl, in the corner, looking quite upset, shooting daggers at Ziegler from time to time.
Ziegler's just staring at
stuck in this passenger area. You've made way now. You're somewhat into your journey, maybe 6 or 7 hours into your journey on the Red Morning Rise. You're on your way to the FTL point. And you have the invitation from the captain to dinner. You have a bit of time around the ship before the evening meal. So how would anybody like to do anything?
Is there a staff member or somebody in part of the crew with us? Or
No, there's no crew with you at present. Although there's probably security and people milling around the corridors outside.
can I look around and stuff? What's the word? You roll for it to check what's around you.
Perception?
Perception test, yes. Wow.
Sure.
Intellect.
That is intellect or speed, your choice.
Difficulty.
Just give me a generic roll. We'll see if there's anything for you to notice. All right. Taking XP.
Good. Good.
Flipping heck.
Yeah, I've got
Take an XP, choose someone to give an XP to.
who was it that lost an XP recently with a Demise? Seymour. I'm gonna give Seymour one.
Oh, thanks. Oh, okay.
All the XP.
Flipping heck. XP rich. Alright, I think the only thing you notice is, and you're not sure if you're imagining this or if it's really there, you're hearing the squeaking of cleaning robots in the walls, and you're having flashbacks to being electrocuted.
I punched the wall.
Yeah. You see some vents, and you notice that it's just the right size for a Roomba with a sparking electrical cable to fit through. You're feeling a sense of paranoia that you may be attacked at any moment, but I think that's standard for Ziegler anyway.
Alright, okay. That's fair
Yeah.
enough. So I've gone from staring at this guy in the room to just staring at a hole in the wall. Right, as you were, that's all my characters do for now.
But I add to that important interaction that's happened.
As always, Ziegler on top of operational security.
But in the Bird series, it was like, is it single rooms or is it bunks or what is?
This is one single room. It's about 10 feet by 15 feet, 10 feet by 10 feet, something like that. It's quite cramped. There's a triple layer of bunks recessed into one wall, just metal boxes basically with a pillow.
So it's kind of thing you can sit on easily because you have to lie down to fit under the level above.
Yeah, there's metal benches like jutting out from all of the walls. Just sharp metal right angles. Yeah. If you have a look around in the kitchenette in one of the cupboards, you discover some kind of board game. It's like checkers, something like that.
Is there a can of some kind of carbonated dairy product?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you can find... it's actually classic flavor, which, is...
Interesting.
Sorry,
Yeah.
So this is out of game, but carbonated dairy products probably the most horrific thing I've ever heard.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
it's classic flavor fizzy cheese.
Yeah.
No, please.
It's the most horrific thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
again.
It's carbonated cheese, yeah.
Notice it's not cheese flavored, but classic flavored.
Yeah, it's classic flavored fizzy cheese.
As you were, sorry, that just...
Produced by the note on the can is that it's produced by the Acre Corporation, which nobody knows
Yeah, no one's
where
ever
they're
heard of it.
from, who they are. Nobody's ever heard of the Acre Corporation.
So the logo doesn't seem recognizable either. It's strange. Very plain packaging.
I open the airlocks. I flush all of us out into the cold vacuum of space.
Good thing I've got my vacuum suit. Great. But yeah, I think we're all sat there. The Quettle's in here as well, right? Or have they?
Yeah. The Quettle is in there with you.
And yeah, it's a 10-foot by 10-foot room, so we're not having a quiet conversation that they're not hearing.
Yeah, there's not much privacy to be had.
Were we told that we can't go back to our ship?
No, and this is kind of a free form. If there is something that you would like to do before you arrive to the FTL transit, you can do so.
Anyone have any ideas?
I feel like
Oh yeah,
maybe
you
just
go.
asking some rank and file members of the crew.
I should have made this a handout, really, but the characters that you have been introduced to so far are the captain, the first officer, communications officer, head of security, and this passenger, Euv and Gertrude Mottle.
What about Biscuity Crumble? Was that a fever
Biscuity
dream?
Crumbles as well. No, Biscuity Crumbles is
I
the
was
dock
wondering.
master.
I think Ziegler wanted to go and find Biscuity Crumble because he sounded angry, and Ziegler's also angry.
We cut to Biscuity Crumble and Ziegler stood in the cargo dock.
Shouting at each other.
As we come in, he goes, "Just because I'm named for Confection Day doesn't mean that I'm sweet. Don't get it twisted. I am not."
What about that trail of crumbs behind you?
You having a laugh? I told you, don't come back here again, Mr. Ziegler. You're making such a fucking mess.
I point my harpoon right at the middle of his chest and poke him with it. Are you sure you want to say that kind of stuff to me?
I think he presses his forehead against yours and goes, "Oh, I go for it, big lad."
Oh fuck!
Rip. TPK. We get vacuumed.
I push my head back against him. What do you want to do about this, son?
We leave Frederick and Biscuity there, pressing their foreheads against each other, pointing weaponry in each other's general direction, being very macho.
I can't wait till Biscuity Crumbles is the big bad of the entire sector.
Biscuity Crumbles is very upset and from Space Scotland, where the accent is whatever I decide it to be.
Space Scotland.
Cool, perfect.
Mrs. Crumbles was a good woman. Don't laugh at the name she gave me.
Oh,
Right,
that's sweet.
What, you took your wife's name, you ass?
Right,
That's my mother you're talking.
I don't want to find a named person. I would just like to try and find some schlub who I can more easily press into answering my questions.
Sure, you can grab a random crew member.
You good, sir?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm to specially get this. I'm gonna activate my demeanor of command.
Right.
Confidence, not charisma.
Yes, I'm strangely compelled by this box full of helium gas.
You ask him to
I
take
am-
you to his leader, and he just takes you to the bridge again.
No, I'm not asking that. I'm not asking that.
Okay. Yeah. What are your
I
questions
am
first?
Captain Caesar of the Rubicon, and I have some important questions for you, good bosun.
I'll answer the best that I can, Your Gaseousness.
Right, so if you were to say anyone on this ship could have possibly been involved in an attack on this ship, who would you say?
Member of the crew? Turn traitor? An imposter among us?
Time for your names.
I could not say so. We all fought against the intruders. I shouldn't say.
But you want to, don't you?
There was communication before the attack. There was some outgoing message that it could have only come from the bridge crew, and it wasn't accounted for. I shouldn't have told you that.
You must tell me more, good sir.
I don't know more.
Yes, you do. You clearly do. Now tell me, damn it!
There was a communique from our ship to the ferry ship just before we set off into transit. I don't know the contents of the message. I just know I was asked to help transmit it because the interference from the FTL gate.
You are asked.
Well, ordered, sir.
Ordered by who?
I don't know. I just know it was a command code from the bridge.
Can I assess whether he's bullshitting me here?
It's being sincere. You can tell your demeanor of command is working. He doesn't know more than he's saying. He just knows that there was a message between the ship and the FTL, and yeah.
I'll head back to our room, and instead of saying stuff to our friends here, what's the name of the visitor again? Mr.
Yeovin.
Mr. Yeovin. Mr. Yeovin, I believe I found our lightning rod.
What did you want?
Friends, there was some sort of communique that happened aboard this ship.
Communicate? Yes, I'm sure they communicate with many people aboard this ship. It is a transit ship.
Oh, shut up, Yevon. Now, good friends.
Well, I was shut up, and then you've interrupted my reading.
Look, I was doing a callback to that lightning rod conversation we had earlier. Now,
We had a conversation. I'm sorry, you're so very
Bloodwin,
forgettable.
could you get access to perhaps parts of the systems on this ship that they don't want you to have access to?
Can I do a quick flashback to Bloodwin checking this room to make sure that there aren't any bugs?
Slightly.
You would know from looking at the security logs, unless there were systems that they didn't give you access to, they don't have any audio equipment. They have the low-res cameras, and that's it in terms of monitoring devices, and proximity sensors on the doors and things like that, but no
Okay.
audio monitoring.
Great.
Like, you're in transit, like, the deck plates are rumbling, like, if you put your hand on the wall, you can feel the engine thrum through you, like, it'd be hard to overhear even with a microphone in the room.
So, I mean, it's always possible. It may be a little difficult from the guest quarters of the ship.
There's an information terminal you could plug into. It just at the moment it just has ETA, and it's ticking down from like
Yeah,
maybe 5 or 6 hours remaining until you get to the FTL.
I sit down at that thing and I go, so what am I looking for?
Before the attack on the ship last time, an order was given from the bridge to send a communication to someone else in the ferry. Either whoever sent this order or the contents of the message, I think, will help reveal things to us.
Before I do anything, I gotta look up in the corner. Who did you get this information off?
I have my ways. There are many a small ant that make up, and the workers don't ever talk to the soldiers.
How dare you? A Schlub is a respected member of the Schlub family.
Cool. So, yeah, so Blum kind of turns back to the machine and starts trying to access the communication system to see if this message is still in it.
So with the access the communications officer Nailrun gave you before, you can still access the security information that you could, and communications logs. You can see like the metadata saying that a communication was sent, and not the contents or the sender, and you can see presumably the message that was talking about the timestamp just before FTL jump that is come from the bridge.
Well, there is certainly a message here from the bridge at the right time, but they could be updating a manifest for all I can tell from here.
You could attempt
Suspicious,
to gain more information if you wanted.
I mean, I would do that, but
Sure.
I think Bloody is still unconvinced that this random message is going to be relevant.
If you would
Dare you
like to
question
try
me?
and access more information from the message, it is a difficulty 7 hacking task.
Yep.
Which is wrist comp to bring it down to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Can give you some good advice, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not good at the hacking bit, but like, I have intuition and assessment, which is like assessing danger and quality and lies and importance. So, like,
I mean, 90% of hacking is guessing the right password, so you could.
well, I mean, obviously it's up to you, Cal, but I feel like that skill can
Let's
probably
have a
help.
look. Also, Bloodwin, you have Decipher,
Yeah.
which gives you 1 from an ability. I'd probably give you learning because you're learning a new encryption. So that's 2 from skills.
Mhm.
And then you have your risk computer and help from Nikora. That's the maximum ease of 4, which makes this difficulty 3 instead of difficulty 7, which is significant.
Nice.
Yeah.
Intellect to do an edge as well.
Actually, so is mine helping?
Yes.
Have you
Yes.
included my good advice thing as well? Because I give an additional
Yeah,
asset.
so it's hit the cap. You would go 1 over it, but the cap is 2 from assets and 2 from skills.
Fair enough.
So I'm down. So it's down to 3, and I'm applying 1 effort.
You're already at the cap for easing, but that's okay.
20.
Cool. You'd be
I rolled-
difficulty 6 anyway. Yep.
So
With
I couldn't
sorry.
apply. I couldn't apply from using my pool.
I'm not sure if you could apply effort as well. I'd have to check the rules on that.
Okay.
I'm not sure. You might be able to, but it doesn't matter for this point.
Roll a 20.
Anyway, yeah, you got a 20. With a natural 20, I'll just straight up tell you rather than obscuring anything. This message is rather obviously from the first officer, Jeff Ivory Washer.
I knew that motherfucker was dirty.
And the message is just one word, although it was encrypted to look like a paragraph. It just says now.
Wham! I took a bullet to the shoulder. Wham! My life is so hard. I'm on to you, Ivory Wash.
And because of your natural 20, you can see that the receiver of the message was directed to the Golden Stag Revolutionary Front.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that familiar at all, or is it?
Yeah.
I don't think any of you have interacted with them before, although you may have heard like news clippings about terrorist activity. You would know them to be suspected as either a rebel of or just plausibly denied by the Aguamala Syndicate. You would know them to be they believe that the Concord of Mutual Disdain, they believe that the Concord should no longer be a Concord. They really should go back to being independent, and they believe in freedom for all species by separating species by type. In national independence by separating people who are different from one another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do we
Yeah,
confront the
that's
captain
their
with this
jam.
information?
I think we spring a trap, right? Because
So
sorry,
Yeah.
let me get in character. Oh wait, do I know this in character yet?
We're
I
all
don't-
the same.
technically, at this point in time, I mean, if you're in the room, Lobbin's not hiding the screen or anything.
Hey, Mr. Yovan over there knows about this as well.
Yeah, Yeovan is reading this as you. Yeah.
I told you
I
there was a
mean-
lightning rod.
I don't think he has the context to know what a message that says now means.
Yeah, but I was suspicious. I am on to you, Ivory Wash. No, I think Yovan and most of y'all go over to the dinner. I figure that's when Ivory Wash is gonna spring a trap or invite his compatriots over, and Frederick and I and anybody else with a gun can be waiting for them in the cargo hold.
I think Frederick's a bit preoccupied with it.
He's too busy arguing with the guy in charge of the cargo hold right now.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot.
I wanted to do a charm roll or something against Biscuity Grumbles while we're pressed against each other's faces.
Yeah.
Is this?
Before we cut over to that, I think again, due to your 20 on a difficulty 7 roll, which you'll also note that embedded in the message was a command to part of the sensor array. You'll notice that part of the external sensors were shut off just before FTL, and that same section of sensors is also cut off now.
They're already on the ship. Or on the outside.
is it possible for me? Is it possible from this terminal to activate those sensors?
I think you'd have to speak to Nailrun for that. I don't think you have the authority codes.
Can we use the sensors on the Wanderer to try and?
Yeah, you can go back to your ship and do that, which probably an appropriate time to cut back to the cargo bay. As I once punched a cow to death.
Yeah? Well, I punched an even bigger cow to death.
The cow that I punched to death was your mother.
Oh no!
You were whining about it earlier, you. Can I? So I'm just imagining that both of them have pressed their faces so up against one another, their noses are crumpled, they're literally
Yeah, their
breathing
noses
into
are crumpled, your chests are against each other,
literally
you're both
breathing into each other's mouths.
Kiss.
spittle flying everywhere.
Try and do a charm
Suddenly
roll.
got very homoerotic.
I think a charm roll to Biscuity Crumbles is a might roll of difficulty 5.
Okay.
Yeah, which if you have any skills or equipment that would help you ease that.
I've got one edge.
I think endurance helps you as well here because you've been basically it's like an arm wrestle but with your foreheads.
So is it still difficulty 5? Is that how that works?
So you've eased it by 1 with endurance, and then what was the other one?
I was just talking about edge with might. How does that work?
That's if you spend
Oh,
effort.
right, okay, ignore
So
that.
if you spend 2 might, you can ease it by an additional.
I've got focus concentration. What's that do? That's intellect. Never mind.
Yeah, trained in focus and concentration. Yeah, combined with endurance, sure, you can ease this by 2 and make it difficulty 3.
You are going to seduce. Oh no! What?
Well, yeah. Make a difficulty 5 speed roll for me, please.
Oh god!
Okay, wait.
Uh,
Before we get there, he can spend 1 XP to reroll.
I'm doing.
True, you can. So
Sorry.
Rolling off. I want this to happen.
Alright, difficulty 5 speed roll as Biscuity Crumbles punches you.
I know I'm re-rolling. What?
Oh, you are re-rolling, sorry.
Yeah, I want this to happen.
Go on. Yep.
Yes!
Success! Alright.
I like the special +2 damage there. Rears back and headbutts into the floor.
You knock him unconscious right before the battle starts. Cool.
Yeah. Biscuity Crumbles kind of slowly steps back from your pressing embrace, holds up his hand, goes, "Hey, you're all right."
You got private quarters on this ship.
I am fanning myself right now. It is suddenly very warm in my room.
If you would like, we can fade to black on you going to Biscuity Crumbles' quarters.
That is perfect, yes.
Sure, okay. You go to the cargo, you can't find Ziegler or Biscuity Crumbles.
Clear out Wanderer.
I'll leave it to the viewer's imagination what happens next between these two muscle-bound men.
Okay, I just need to know, are you still inside the power armor? That's the only thing I need to know.
Of course, yeah, I never take it off.
Oh my god.
He really doesn't. He didn't take it off when he took a shower. So.
Oh my.
That's
To my
true.
to my
Sure.
downfall.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you make your way to the CS
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, try and use the sensors on that same area on the outside of the ship.
Wait, have you hacked into the full system? Have you got access to every sensor on the ship?
We're using the
No,
sensor.
we're looking at outside, like not.
Oh right, okay. I was just wondering if you're gonna find Ziegler midway, well, in the rooms or whatever.
I mean, you ask if we need to hack for that. I will remind you that was specifically the system that I was given access to.
Oh right, okay. Yeah, sorry, ignore me. Yeah, you faded to black on whatever's happening.
Yes, yeah. For the listeners, it's arm wrestling. They both emerged later, sweaty, disheveled from arm wrestling.
Is that what they call it now?
Yeah. So what level is the CS Wanderer again? Is it 3, I believe?
Yeah, free.
Yeah. Okay. You can use. You have a skill for this as well. I'm pretty sure.
I've got sensors and comms.
Yeah, sensors and comms, and you have a special ability. Flex Law. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's like library stuff. So.
That's for gaining an asset on something. All right. Yeah, sensors and comms. Difficulty 3 sensor roll.
Okay. Can I get assistant for someone? Just to get like a bit of a bonus, or does that not really work with the sensor stuff?
If someone is like helping you adjust the waveforms, and
I think Lolly is probably there being helpful as it's kind of generally a technical task.
filter out traffic. Yep. All right. Difficulty 2.
Sweet.
Yeah, success.
Hey.
Yeah. You can pick up on your comms that there is a small craft attached to the side of the ship.
Right.
So,
Are we already in FTL?
You're not in FTL now. I would say as you tick down, you can see the FTL gate. Now, if you look out of a window, you're around 20 minutes away from attaching to the ferry. Although the last 3 hours or so, you've just been in a queue. Yeah, as described in the previous session, it's like a long TSA queue. There's flashy advertisement ships running up and down. Although because you're in a huge transport ship, you're on the fast track and you're less bothered than when you were going in the Wanderer last time.
Cool.
But yeah, you're approaching the front of the queue. This investigation has taken a while, getting through all the systems, bantering with Yovin and Biscuity and Ziegler arm wrestling. Yeah, we're approaching FTL time.
So the important question here is, do we want to ambush them as they attack, or do we want to deal with them whilst they're still outside of the ship?
Yeah, so I think this is a unique opportunity because it has to be a tiny vessel, right? So the Wanderer could uncouple and just blast them. Like, there's no way this is like a military grade shuttle.
I mean, it could be just one massive armor plate.
Do we know? We don't know the name of the ship, though, right?
Oh.
We don't know what the ship is, and I mean the ship might already, because the whole. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been consuming this wrong, but I've been assuming that they all a ship on the ferry as well, and they've just sort of gone between ships on the ferry.
We've just scanned and found a ship attached to the side of the ship.
Oh, okay.
We found basically a limpet. Yeah. So I'll give you this. You detect 3 life signs on board the limpet ship.
We could ambush them, attack the ship, go and get them.
How many people attacked over on the recording last time?
So you actually, from the security footage you had, there was no mention from anyone coming from anywhere but the connection to the ferry. And you saw through the connection on the ferry 5 individuals come through from the ferry last time.
So I don't think this is everyone. I'm not even sure if this is the people we think we're looking for.
It's a big coincidence if it's not, though.
It's a completely separate group of smugglers that happen to be.
I don't have magnetized boots, so I wouldn't be able to do anything on the surface of the ship. Does anyone besides our currently incommunicado Space Marine have outer ship equipment?
I have
I have a Naught suit. I don't know, like, if I can attach to stuff when using that.
I would assume if it's like a vac suit thing, then it would have like black boots on it.
Yeah,
I think you'd be able to find whichever airlock they're attached to on the outside as well. Like, find the door inside.
If we do that, I could just open the door and throw a grenade in. Like, I've got thermite grenades.
Yes. The 2 sonic grenades.
Melt and leave. So yeah, the question still stands. do we want to go to dinner, reveal this to the captain, and then sort this out? Or do we want to miss the meal, sort the problem out, and then present that we did it to the captain?
If we do the dinner plan, I feel like that means we have to then divide ourselves into two groups, because if Jeff Ivorywash is there, he might then send a signal, and if he's not there, that's even worse, because then we have to find him and arrest him then. So, like, I feel like the dinner plan, while like narratively the most satisfying for me personally, is like logistically worse.
Decision.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I guess seeing if Bodin happens to have returned to the ship for this, they will go to their bunk and retrieve their comically oversized rifle.
Wait, can we send a message to Ziegler and tell him we need him?
Yeah, we just send him a text message.
Where the fuck are you?
Ziegler?
Do you all feel a light rock into the ship? Am I imagining that?
I think as you send a message to Ziegler, you get, "Aye, Ziegler's communicator."
The biscuity boy?
Who's this? What you doing on this channel?
This is Ziegler's commanding officer, General Caesar.
General now, Jesus.
Aye, General, is it? Well, you're a general nuisance. Fuck off.
I can't deny it. That was a good joke. We need him for a. Where is he? Put the phone down.
It's still on. All right. Give me 2 minutes. I'll send your lad back to you.
Yeah, crashing footsteps as this just running corridors at full sprint.
Just hear the tower armor. Motors
Chung 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 chung.
What's so urgent to call me away from my arm wrestling?
We found the people that we need to shoot.
All right, fair enough. I prefer shooting to arm wrestling. Only just though. That was some good arm wrestling.
We go to the airlock.
Yeah, if we can find the airlock.
Yes. Let's see. Let's go to here. You find that it is attached to this upper point, this door here.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me grab your tokens real quick, bring you all over here. For reasons.
What is this room?
This is the engine room.
Okay.
Oh, let's not blow that up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd try to evacuate the people working inside, but
You say that.
I mean, we just need to open the door and charge in, right? As long as the fighting happens inside the door, it's not a problem.
The door panel is reading. You should be able to position yourselves however you like. The door panel is reading, saying that there is a cargo container, an additional cargo container strapped to this airlock.
Is that what our scan detected?
No, you know it's a ship, but the computer is saying that it's just a cargo container, like an additional module that's been attached to the ship.
Is it locked or anything, or is it like, I don't want to open it right now, but like, can we tell if it's?
I mean, it's sealed for transit. Like it's
There's no like passcode or anything that we've got to put into.
Yeah.
yes, yeah. There'd be authority to interact.
All
with
right,
it,
okay.
yeah.
So we need.
As you're looking at it, I will just meta give you this. Two of the options. Opening the hatch would be difficulty 4, or attempting to eject the ship from the airlock would be difficulty 7.
Just say goodbye.
It would be nice to have some evidence of like.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that wouldn't be anywhere near as fun.
I mean, technically speaking, the job just says to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Who?
two-
I suppose we do have evidence that someone sent a message to the whatever, and
So it's 2,000 HAL for information, 6,000 HAL for successfully preventing the robbery.
yeah,
that's 8,000 HAL.
That information is still worth something.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, I think that Bloody makes the assumption that opening this door will be their job. And, like, walks up to whatever control panel and will attempt to hack it.
Can I go to Overwatch on this door?
You certainly can. Yep.
Sweet.
I think
So-
if you level weapons, I think I'm gonna ask you all to roll initiative, as the people inside don't sit around and wait for you to attack, and
Yeah, I did
instead
think.
know that they've been rumbled. So
Surprise me. By the
everyone, give
my-
me initiative.
Yeah, by the way, I can't currently move my token for some. I think it's a problem on my end, not a problem with Rodney. So
Oh, okay. Tell me where you'd like to be, and I'll.
I kind of want to be like to the right of Peter Quill XP. Yeah, you got me right.
How dare
Sorry,
you?
just,
Around there. Alright.
sorry, we're breaching the north door, the south door here.
Gosh.
North,
This one. This one.
Right.
Sorry. My roll 20 just completely freaked out.
Great.
Roll 20.
So,
Perfect.
initiative is just
That's
just
skill.
roll. Yeah, cool.
So the way the initiative works in this game is you do it like per person for the first round, and then it's just PCs than enemies.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. We gotta go fast.
I did the wrong thing. I don't. I mean, everyone knows I'm bad with this. It's fine.
220 wrong.
I don't know if you saw, but I'm attaching my acid spitter Cypher to my gun.
I did see, yep.
Okay.
So you deal bonus 4 damage through this entire engagement.
Mhm.
Right. Cool.
How tall is this door?
How what?
How tall is this door?
Probably around about 7 feet, around about your height.
I was just wondering if I should gravity nullifier and do some parkour.
Ooh.
It's an external door that would open to the vacuum of space if not for the thing attached. So it's probably incredibly thick.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So 12, 6, 23, 20. All right. So Nikora and Leofrich are going to get a chance to go before the enemy. You see the doors open. Oh, God.
So close.
Right. You see copies of yourselves.
Oh my god!
No. Hang on.
The people we're fighting are ourselves.
What a
Oh
twist.
god.
That gives me an idea for a different encounter, perhaps.
Ziegler might not fight in that situation, but we'll have to see.
Yep, so you see emerge from... I'm gonna move you all back so I have some space for these tokens.
Yeah.
How dare you?
You see, as you saw on the security footage, you see individuals in, pretend this is golden armor and pretend they have helmets. 3 individuals come out. They're all rather small, about 5 foot to 5'4" in golden armor, moving low to the ground and moving with an unusual dexterity. I need to turn off snap to grid. Hang on. Like they are lithe. I describe the way that they're moving as prowling. They all have emblazoned on their chest. The guy in the middle has the face of a golden lion on his chest, and the other 2 have golden stags. They all have what appear to be valuable gems embedded in their armor at various points. They are carrying small pistols on their hips, but they all have their short, in between a dagger and a short sword, weapons out. They are vibrating and crackling with energy. You see them rush out of the door looking to attack you. They know they've been rumbled. And I think alarms start going off around the ship as this door opens mid-transit. And as they emerge through the door, I think you're all knocked off balance a little bit as you feel the ship start to orient itself to attach to the ferry. So it's like clunking. The inertial dampeners are doing their best and the gravity field is shifting, but you feel somewhat like that corridor in Inception. The entire thing is rolling.
Oh no.
And while it adjusts, you can feel it rolling to attach to the ferry while you're in the middle of this combat. So, either Nikora or Leofrich, you can go before these people start attacking.
I had Overwatch on, so do I get to use that? Yeah. Or
Yes, yeah, you can Overwatch as they emerge from the door. Yeah.
yeah. So, what difficulty is the attack?
Depends which target you're shooting at.
The guy in the middle, of course.
Sure, that'll be difficulty 5.
I don't think I've got anything.
Which I believe does a couple of additional damage, doesn't it?
Yeah, only if I hit though.
Miss. I think you hit, but it pings off the golden armor and into one of the bulkheads. And Nikora, you get to go.
Second worst metal, my butt.
Sunstick time. I would like to fight the boss, but Ziegler's in the way, so.
Isn't that one of the key plot points?
All in immediate range, so that doesn't really count as a move. You don't have. Is in case people have forgotten or didn't know, the combat distance in this game is done in a relative fashion, the same way as Genesis. There's immediate, short, medium, and long. And at present, I would say you're all in immediate range with these enemies. Moving takes an entire turn. You get to do one action a turn. But yeah. So Nikora, you engage this one in melee. It's a difficulty 4 attack. Oh, which profile of the stun stick are you using?
Just the stun, so we can ask
2 damage. Questions. Stabs them. Yeah. All right.
The sheets changed, so I didn't say I was trained, but now I am. I will use an effort as well to.
Cool.
Do that. And was it 4? Yeah.
Yep. Difficulty 4.
That should all figure out.
Nice.
Stun him. The description for it is gone.
Oh, you used an effort. Trained shouldn't give you -1 on that.
Good enough.
No.
That might.
Oh, because it's a light weapon. Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Absolutely.
Although I
you
don't know
hit
if
him
it should be a
for
light weapon.
2 damage, and he is stunned. Bzzz. He's shocked. You see it crackle through his armor, and he's his swinging his sword towards you, and it stops in midair as your zappy stick is in his ribs.
Oh, the zappy stick. What?
Your stun stick.
That's the brand you've got.
Yeah.
The Zappy Stick 300. It's the best stun stick in the whole sector. That's what they say in the ads, anyway.
All right, Ziegler, defend against a difficulty 5 melee attack from me, please.
Is that might difficulty
might.
5?
Yeah, might difficulty 5. You can. Oh, don't even need it. Yeah. You can tell me how does this attack not damage you?
Like, he just hits one of my pauldrons and I don't even notice.
It just scrapes off your shoulder blade.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, cool. And this one is gonna charge forward and attack Seymour. If you could defend against a difficulty 4 might attack for me, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2 points from my luck pool for this.
Can you spend more than one?
Yeah, I can spend up to all 3 of my luck points in a single.
Oh.
So it's
Very cool.
it's just like a normal pool. So I would have to normally spend 3 points of luck to exert 1 effort.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh right, yes, yeah. It's just like generic stats, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Floating stack points.
Yes.
Hey.
Alright, you tell me how do you dodge this sword swing?
I think even though I deeply resent the Peter Quill analogies that everyone has been doing, I want to make that abundantly clear. I think the thing is I throw my like leather duster like over my shoulder, so he's like momentarily distracted, and he stabs like where my body would be if I had actually moved like my coat did, but I'm actually slightly somewhere to the side. So like he stabs and maybe like cuts a hole in my coat. And I am pissed about this. I want that to be clear. How dare you?
Cool. Ole. Right. The party that have not gone yet can go. Any order?
I guess I will raise my rifle.
Mhm.
What were the difficulties on attacks against these again?
So the ads are 4 and the main guy is 5.
Okay. Yeah. So so I think I will. I guess shoot the nearest guy first. I don't really have anything to make it easier, so.
If you let me attack first, I have an ability called. Well, actually, this might be too metagamey.
You can go in any order for a reason, so you can set each other up.
Okay, I have a skill called Attack Flourish, which I don't even actually have to hit. Just by fighting in the general area, I can give you an asset to your next task to make it easier. So
great, that would be great.
yeah. So I am going to go ahead and spend my last point in my luck, and then also spend 2 in speed to add 1 effort, and I'm going to try and shoot. I'm going to try and shoot that same guy that. I'm going to remember everyone's names. I wrote them down. That Bloodwin. I'm going to try and shoot the same guy that Bloodwin was just about to shoot.
Also, nameplates are on, are they not?
Well, we can see our own, but not each other's.
Yeah, I can only see mine.
Okay, all right. Yeah, difficulty 4 shot with your pistol. With your revolver, in fact.
Yeah. Bang. And it deals an extra 4 points of damage because of the acid attachment.
Yeah, so this is an absolutely brutal attack. Tell me, what does this look like when you activate your Cypher?
I think the thing is that like it is a revolver in the sense that like it looks surprisingly simple, but I think it's just like I unslotted the previous cylinder, and then I slotted in a new cylinder that's like glowing green that has like glass windows to individual bullets in the cylinder. And as I shoot, it's more like a flash of green light than just an actual bullet, because it's fantastical. I think it's almost akin to like a las pistol or something like that, but it's obviously not actually that. Like I'm just changing out the ammunition that's being fired.
Is this entirely mechanical, or are you tapping into your affinity to the bleed?
Ooh, I didn't even consider. I think maybe a little bit. I think if you're watching, there's some visual effects. There's a little bit of a shimmer around it, but nothing ostentatious. Like Seymour actively tries to downplay his affinity with the bleed as much as possible.
What does it feel like to you when you dip your mind into that place that is other and use energy from it? What does that feel like to you?
It is the vastness of the ocean, and I am a small part floating in it. Seymour is terrified of the bleed, and frankly, I think he might even hate it. Um, I think he has like a deep resentment towards the bleed itself, and if if he had the ability to just completely get rid of his connection, he would. Um,
It's addictive too, right? It feels good even though you hate it.
Yeah,
You
like that's what he's most
feel-
scared of, is like he could get himself lost, like he could submerge himself in the ocean easily. And he's not about that life. He'd much rather submerge himself in a bottle of liquor than the addictive power of that.
Very cool. Okay. As you hit this person's armor, it starts to like dissolve, and like the lower part of their faceplate is being eaten away. And they step back, panicking and stumbling, and like underneath you can see what appears to be very human flesh, although mechanically augmented. Underneath, you can tell that this person is some kind of at minimum a cyborg. They have some wires and tubes underneath the armor.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
After I shoot him, I shout, "Aguahan, stand down," or "Aguahan, stand down." Oh god, that's not the accent. Well, it's too late now.
They do not have your money, but
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so by doing that shot, I think another thing that ends up happening too is like, because there's all these exposed wiring and everything. I think I give Bloodwind like the perfect angle to like shoot inside to his like more vulnerable circuitry and his soft meat flesh.
yeah, what I was describing was definitely due to your attack flourish. You do it in a very flashy way. You bleed energy sparking around and this dissolving with the acid. Very, very showy. It is has panache, you might say.
Oh,
Yeah. Bloodwin, you find that you have a really easy shot on this guy.
Cool.
It's difficulty 3 to hit instead of difficulty 4.
Cool. So difficulty 3. And I will.
Although, actually, you are at immediate range with
With a
a
long one.
long-range weapon, so I think this goes back up to difficulty 4 because it's awkward to maneuver your oversized weapon.
Okay. I think I'm also going to push that even higher by using the rapid fire part of my weapon to allow me to shoot twice in the round.
Oh, okay. Difficulty 5, which is a 15 to hit.
Yeah. And I don't have any equipment that can help me. I don't have any skills that can help me, but I will spend 3 from my speed pool to apply an effort.
Cool.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so back down
yes.
to difficulty 4. Ooh, first attack cracks out, misses.
If I spend an XP to re-roll, do I need to re-spend for the effort?
No.
Okay, I will spend an XP to re-roll.
Yes.
It should be difficulty 4 anyway.
No, I applied an effort. The effort's separate.
Oh, right. Yep, sorry. I'm still getting a handle of how this is only the second session I've run with these sheets. So. Damage 4, awesome. So, tell me how your combined attack with Seymour kills this guy.
Yeah, so I think you see the kind of the flourish kind of revolver fire acid begins to eat away at armor. Bloodwind sees the hole, and I think almost the kind of the robotic side of Bloodwind kind of flows in. The memory of a person long past that could do this kind of thing, and the gun suddenly snaps like a perfect shot through the hole that's created, and plugs a a bullet straight down that hole.
Yes.
Oh, it's very cinematic. The camera pans through. The Seymour shoots this acid magic round,
Cool.
melts his armor, and then you go to take a shot, get like a close up of sweat dripping off your brow as we see the end of the rifle bobbing around trying to track him, and then exhale, crack straight through, and just slumps over, blood pooling on the deck plate.
Cool.
As,
Then and the rapid fire goes off, and I swing the rifle along one, and we'll take a shot at the main guy.
It's difficulty 6, please.
Well, he's normally difficulty 5.
Yes.
6 because I'm using a long rifle in close range. And
Yes.
difficulty 7 because I'm rapid firing.
Right, yeah. So that's 21 and impossible.
So I will then drop 3 speed to drop it back to a 6.
Okay, you got it.
I've never seen anyone rules lawyer themselves into a harder position, but that was magnificently done.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh wait, I forgot to actually apply the effort. Give me a second, I will
Yep,
rebuild.
no problem.
Effort to the roll. 1. No, I'm not putting any on the damage, really. And it fails. I will not spend another XP to.
Very understandable. Yeah, you pings off this. The main guy has some kind of buckler shield attached to the arm of his armor, and it scrapes off that. As Leo, you took your shot. Ziegler remaining. You're locked in melee combat with this main guy. What would you like to do?
So I've got Foci Frenzy. Does that take a turn to activate, or can I just become frenzied?
I think for sake of time and story, you can become frenzied.
So I spend an intellect.
Oh, it's just while you wish. Yeah, you can rage. Yeah.
So with intellect, and I get an edge of speed and might.
You can't use intellect points, and you gain an edge and a speed edge. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to try and shoot. The harpoon's a melee weapon, right? Even though it's.
Yep, it's a melee weapon, even though
Yeah.
it's ranged.
So I'm going to shoot him with a harpoon. So way of easing this, is that 3 speed or?
Yes, 3. Although you will have an edge of, what was your edge before you used frenzy?
0. So it's 1 now.
Okay, so if you spend 2, then you can ease this, which would make it a 4.
I'm going to do that.
Yep.
Piss. So I miss, I assume, or like.
Well, that didn't show up for me for a second.
Yeah.
I think you fire your harpoon, and while they're swinging their sword towards you, it like catches in their cape, but it doesn't hook on anything. The trailing cable of the harpoon is now along the floor, as the harpoon is by his feet. And I think everyone's gone on the PC side. Yes.
The 2 people who went before they went haven't gone again. If that's the way it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
so
Leo
now
Frick.
it just goes enemy PCs.
I thought Leo Frick was Overwatch, so shouldn't he get a second action?
Oh, true. Yeah, Leo Fritz, you can go.
Alright, I'll just take a shot then.
Yep.
At the middle guy, who's 5, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I'll spend an effort as well.
Would everyone be alright if we went 10, 15 minutes over?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm with
Yep. Alright, cool.
How dare you?
that.
Rolled an 18, so
Yeah.
Hit, yep.
plus 2 damage.
7 damage, plus 2?
Yep.
Oh, because you hit an 18. Right, yep, awesome. 7, 8, 9 damage. Flipping heck, you're eviscerating these guys. But to be fair, this is a much easier encounter than you're supposed to meet them in. Thumbs up for investigative work.
You say that.
Yeah. So their turn. Let's see. I think the main guy is just gonna swing at Ziegler again. Difficulty 5 might roll for me, please, Ziegler.
Ding.
Just like that.
Holy moly! All right. So how do you avoid this blow, which is coming directly for your head? Big sword swing, straight for your eye socket.
I move slightly to. I move the minimal amount required for it to hit the armor and just let it bounce. Like I'm absolutely not phased at all.
It's millimeters from your head, and you just lean slightly to the left, and it pings off your pauldron instead.
Yeah.
Under the golden armor, you hear like a synthetic, like Microsoft Sam almost distorted growl, and then this one on the left, he's go to his hip and pull up a blowpipe. He's gonna try to hit. Oh no, he misses his turn because he's stunned. I was about to say Nikara who stunned him, but he's stunned, so he doesn't do any of that. He's convulsing from electricity. Right, PC's turn. Anyone can go.
Even stunned.
Yeah.
Well, I can attack the guy that's easy to hit and still give someone an asset to attack the big main guy if people are cool with that.
Go for it.
Sweet. Also, is the door, like the airlock behind them, did that close or is it open and we can see the shuttle inside?
Still open, you can see inside.
Cool. Just to make sure I understand combat, I can attack and then move afterwards, right?
No, you can do one thing.
Yeah. It's
The action economy is kind of rough with combat.
it's interesting though.
Yeah.
You can do like small movements, can't you? Like
Yeah, like if you stay within immediate range, like it's if you go a distance of any significance that it's an action.
Well, it's more not to overplay my hand, but because of my history with the Aguamala Syndicate, do I know if these guys are deniable assets or not?
As far as your knowledge, the Aguamala Syndicate does not support their philosophy, and they don't match what you know of the Syndicate.
Okay, then I don't care about getting inside the shuttle before anybody else. Yeah, I'll just do a normal attack on guy on the left. Or
I mean, what you can glimpse of inside the shuttle during the midst of combat, like while you're distracted, like, it doesn't look to be particularly special inside. Like it's
Okay.
just looks like
it's not like a covert slush fund operation. It's like these are some jerk offs who are also vaguely Aguamala.
Yeah.
Okay. Difficulty 4 boy. I am spending 3 points of speed to push myself for 1 effort. Bam. He takes 8 points of damage.
Oh, look. Holy moly. Who are you damaging? Sorry.
The guy on the left, the Moog. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay. And this is again your magic bullet.
Mhm.
The acid starts to eat away at his armor.
And I'm going to go ahead and give our Space Marine, who has a cool harpoon grapple gun, the advantage on that next attack.
He'd have to reel it in before he shoots the
I'll
harpoon
say about
again.
using my heavy shotgun this round.
He has,
I
he
mean-
has Bessie.
Have
I
the
give.
advantage anyway.
Oh yeah, wait. Which one does more damage, your shotgun or the Wyvern rifle?
Do the same. Oh, sorry.
The
Oh.
it's contextual, but in general, the shotgun does more.
Okay, then I am still going to give it to him for his shotgun.
Cool. Any of the 4 of you can go.
So Given the boost, I'm going to shoot the man right in front of me with a shotgun.
Cool. Difficulty 4.
I spend speed again to effort.
You sure can.
Difficulty 3 then.
Yep. Well, I think you apply it when you click on the context menu.
Yeah, I was just.
Damn.
Hang on, what roll do you have to do to beat a 3?
You have to get a 10 or higher.
For a difficulty 3.
Yeah, difficulty 3 is slightly better than 50-50.
Yeah.
Could re-roll it and spend my last XP on it. I don't know if it's worth doing that though.
We've got other shots at doing it. I know he's like difficulty 5 or whatever.
I'll leave it for now then if you think it'd be fun.
It should. I
don't think any of you are anywhere near close to being in danger, so I don't think it's particularly urgent.
Will it be twice?
And XP on this.
Cool.
Yeah.
I
I think you missed this because you're like fiddling with the harpoon and trying to pull up your shotgun to take a shot, and you pull the trigger while it's still like pointed at the floor by accident because you're trying to like juggle 2 weapons at once. You just like spray birdshot into the floor, much to the ire of future cleaning robots, I'm sure.
Which, let's be honest, is an important action taken today.
Yeah. Also, you know, your heart's not particularly in this combat, maybe, given you're all arm wrestled out. But
yeah, I mean, I've got other pressing issues like the potential of cleaning robots and like all that arm.
Yeah, the paranoia from before. Yeah,
what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't perform, sometimes it's all right. It happens to everybody.
Dang.
Who's next?
Don't worry, viewers. Here we give life lessons as well with entertainment. I'll go next. I'll just keep trying to stun this guy.
Yeah, you go for
it. Life lessons like hit the guy with your taser multiple times.
He is convulsing, blowpipe in hand, as his armor is being eaten away by acid. He's looking in very poor shape. We do not
support carrying on tasing people here at the Free Agents. I'm going to spend an effort again, just to try and make sure I keep him down.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, I just said it. That's why. That's why I was just like
done.
That works, right? There you go.
I declare bankruptcy.
He just shouts stun at the man.
Yeah,
the Cobra's not used to stunning people who are also being eaten by acid. He's not sure how it's going to interact. He feels bad about it.
I think as you've gone to swing, that's when the bullet from Seymour hit him, and he is falling backwards, so just outside of your reach.
He's screaming, stunning him after stunning him to just take the Mickey. Like you've stunned him and you just stunned.
Stunned. Leofrich or Bloodwind, you can go.
I'm just gonna end up shooting the guy in the middle again. So
go ahead.
It's 5, isn't it? Yeah.
Difficulty 5, yeah.
Still got the. Has he still got the +1 from the?
No, it was just for one person, I think.
Yeah, it was just for you. Yeah.
Spend another. No, rolled 2.
Well, I think it's 2 interlocked with Ziegler. You can't get the shot without hitting your ally. Yeah.
I can't remember. Does this system have like an attack of opportunity type deal?
It's if you move away, it's assumed that you're doing so carefully because it takes you your whole action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Unlike D&D where you can move and then attack, it assumes that you're disengaging when you move.
Okay, cool. So I think Baldwin's going to look at this and go, well, this is handled pretty well, and just attempt to slip past them into the shutter behind them and start looking around, seeing is there a computer system I can break into here?
Sure. You manage to step over this corpse, and I don't have a map for it, but you're in the shuttle.
Cool.
Enemy's turn. He is. Oh my god! I just clicked on a thing. How did what?
Farewell.
Never mind. All right, recovered. Okay, cool.
Au revoir, GM. It was nice knowing you.
He's missing. Win the
The
game.
guy who is
We win, then we get loads of money, and like everything happens.
the guy who is convulsing on the floor, seeing the acid burn away at himself. Let me have a look real quick at something. Yeah, I think you see him like howling in pain, reach up to something at the side of his neck and click it, and when he does, he just falls limp on the floor.
I thought he was going to explode.
Yeah, that's not the end of that. We got to deal with him.
I'll just
Yeah,
I'll hold my stun stick on his unconscious body.
Uh-oh.
Stun it.
If it is a bomb, that might short circuit it. I mean,
I will attack the bomb with a taser.
The main guy snarling again with rage. The engraved lion on his chest has gemstones for eyes, and they seem to glow as he comes in for this attack against Ziegler. If you could make a difficulty 5 defense for me, please.
God.
Done. All right, take an XP first. Yeah, recovering some,
And give one to someone.
and give one to someone.
The frick, why not?
Leave Rich.
El Capitan.
I will take the easy intervention on this one, and rather than his regular damage, you take +4, I believe it is.
Oof.
Which is... let me have a look at this guy's stats. Take 9 damage.
Does
Which,
that get involved with this, or does it just take 9?
From what?
I assume you take this off money, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have armor as well. Oh, you haven't noted it. You have 3 armor, so take 6 damage to your might.
Did you get involved with this, or is it just...
You know, I've forgotten about their armor through this thing, but that's alright. It wouldn't have changed much.
Yep.
Oops. Sorry, I don't think it would have affected the outcome. Yep, cool. Alright, so he finally manages to bite his... Where does he manage to hit you that's exposed? Because you're in such power armor. What weak spot does he find to slip his sword into?
He thrusts just below the chest plate and gets between 2 plates. And sort of
Gotcha, like above your waist.
snags it in, into my torso.
Alright. Do you bleed?
Yeah, I'm a huge well. Yeah, I'm in.
Is it like red blood that comes out on the sword?
Well, I don't know. Is this sword like? You said it was electrified and buzzing and stuff.
It's vibrating, yeah.
Yeah. So the sword comes out bloody, and there's blood dripping down my power armor, I suppose.
Again, the cleaning robots are going to be very upset with you. All right, and yep, anyone can go.
Bam! Oh, wait, no. Hold up. I said bam too early. Give me a sec.
Never bam too early.
I bammed and I forgot that I had to actually input the difficulty and stuff.
That's good advice, that.
Bam!
Bam!
There you
You have your acid weapon.
Yeah.
Acid, you're right. Yeah.
And it's
So,
a 17, so I get an additional +1 to damage. Wait.
Tell me how this guy dissolves.
I think this is the thing, right? Is he's like, haha, I finally scored a blow on this worthy opponent. And I think Seymour just like slides to the side where he's not paying attention and just like shoots him in the side of the head, and it like bores a perfect hole through.
Awesome. Fantastic, yeah. And we won't leave initiative just yet. What are you gonna do about the body that isn't bleeding on the floor over here?
Oh, that's right. I'm gonna give Science Boy. Oh wait, no, Science Boy is inside the shuttle.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
What
Is
if
there-
the shuttle and just
Is there anybody else who's good at science?
That resounding no noise is your answer.
Yeah. Okay.
You can give me the advantage and then call me back, but it will take an extra turn.
Yeah. I'm gonna give Nikora the advantage on like the asset to their next task because Nikora is right next to the body and they might be able to figure something out. But like I am pretty sure I'm like 60% sure it was a cyanide kill switch to melt the tech inside of them. I am 40% sure that Leo Frick was correct and his body is now a bomb. So
Why not both?
yeah.
Kind of
So I'm
a
going to give Nikora. Oh, yeah?
So it's kind of a horrific state you put them in.
Yeah.
Like
Uh,
melting and stuff.
There's no good outcome to I touch a thing on my neck and then I fall unconscious.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Nikora the advantage there. Cole, you better do this.
You all hear like a low whine. Yeah. It's building in pitch.
I'm optimistic that this is only good things.
Cool. Well, Zogwin is currently inside the shuttle and jumps on whatever computer that they're nearby. So and starts like looking for message records, names of ships.
Find, and as you've all been feeling yourselves tilt as this combat is going on, and I think you've subconsciously or consciously heard the clunk as you've attached to the ferry ship.
Mhm.
You find records of communication with another ship that's attached to the ferry.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Is it the same ship that the message was sent to from before that I forgot the name of?
I haven't mentioned the name, and no,
What's
it's not. It's not the same ship, but it's the same encryption.
Okay. I could have sworn there was the name of a ship associated with that message. Whatever.
No, I didn't mention a ship name that it was sent to. Just that it was from the bridge.
Yeah, we got the group name, I think, or whatever.
You got you got the group name, which was the Golden Stag Revolutionary Front.
Cool.
Man, I'm really hoping I'm not getting in trouble with the parents here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you can identify which ship on the ferry is associated with these people. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I take note of that name, whatever it is, and add it to my list of proof.
Let me see. Let me come up with a name really quick, so I'm not.
And it can't be the You Mad Bro, because that one's taken.
It's the Are You Mad Bro? Dost thou even heft?
No, that has to be a Starlight Court one.
The ship is called the Jelen. Jelen.
Cool. Yeah, that's my turn. Come on, Nikora, turn off that bomb.
In a combat scenario, Nikora has exactly one response.
Now, hold on a second. I do want to let you know that asset is for any task that you decide to do.
Stab it with it. No, I mean, I do have intuition and assessment, so I can probably still try and identify what this thing is, right? With that, I imagine.
Yeah, you can identify, but as soon as you all go, it's their turn.
It's a fair point. I mean,
Hint, hint.
what am I going to do? I don't like have anything to necessarily interact with it myself, is the thing.
Oh, you know what would have been smart, but we would have lost the data?
Throw it
If-
into the
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was going to say, but like then Bloodwood was on there, so I was like, no, we can't do that. We can't, like...
Wait a minute.
You could
Wait a
pull out your
minute.
hollow chest, Chet. You could.
Strictly, you don't actually know Godwin that well, so you might just want to go ass on it.
Look, I don't know if this really counts as one action.
But Bloodin does have all of the data.
Are you doing what I think you do?
If I move him there, can I also expand my,
Yes,
my
you can.
inflatable house
You
to
can-
be around him?
You can definitely do that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
A gentleman and a scholar.
Just for rule of cool, you can definitely do that. You can drag his body to here and pop up your Cypher. The instant shelter around it.
Yeah.
And then also get behind Lopez.
I mean, I think. Well, what does it look like? It's a just add water exclamation point.
What it probably looks like is like, you know, I mean, I was about to say you see the sort of like whirring in his head, but you can't actually really read Nikora considering he's a gas person. There's probably like quite a lot of aggressive swirling happening in the helmet, and then they take out the little inflatable inflatable house Cypher, probably just like put it on the back of the guy, and then just heft the body and throw it down the corridor with it on his back.
Yeah, I mean, throw him somewhere down here, and a house, and it looks like a house that a child would draw, made out of like some kind of dark grey stone, pops up, and we hear the inside as it's rocked, and like cracks appears on its surface, and after a brief second, the roof of this instant shelter caves in around this body. So this miniature house has popped up in the corridor, causing many alarms and gas to leak in as you've ruptured several ducts and wiring underneath the floor as this violent expansion of an instant shelter protects the explosion.
What was the size of that shelter again?
10 feet by 10 feet.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It hasn't fully expanded, but it's blown outwards into the walls and damaged around it.
Can you give Nikora the option to perfectly throw it at a diagonal so it minimizes?
No, Nikora's
there's not going to be any significant damage. Cool, okay.
Nikora teaches to not do that, specifically to hit everyone.
Yeah. Specifically, I want to hit everything.
I think as this combat comes to an end, you can feel you've been feeling the hum through the deck plates of the engines, but you feel the louder hum of the Concorde concourse as the FTL ferry prepares to make underway. And warnings are going off through the ship like, make your way to acceleration benches now, FTL travel imminent. Make your way to acceleration benches now, FTL travel imminent.
We'll go do that.
Okay. Is that something we can do from where we are right now, or are we too far? I mean, I guess there's 3 inside of this shuttle.
Well, you don't strictly have to be strapped in. It's just going to be a bumpy ride.
Yeah, just a
I
bit.
think Ziegler just maglocks and stands.
Yeah, like can the Naught suit just kind of enter complete no movement mode?
Yeah. It's like standing up on a train as it's moving. Like it's manageable. It's just difficult to keep on your feet, and there's like random bumps and.
Hold on to the wall while you're walking.
Yeah. You start to smell the familiar kind of acrid, plasticky, sometimes mildly fishy smell of FTL travel.
Yeah.
Fishy.
Yeah. Yeah, FTL travel smells vaguely of tuna. Yeah.
That's great.
While my weapon modification is still active, because it lasts for, I think, an hour. It doesn't actually say how long it lasts. Guess it's forever.
It does say in the book, I believe.
I think it was for a day, if I remember right.
I believe it was for 24 hours, yeah.
Oh, sweet. Not that it's gonna like become relevant, I'm pretty sure, but I am gonna go ahead and just march straight to the bridge because we got to deal with Jeff, Ivory Washer, and oh boy, I am gonna blast acid directly into his brain.
10 minutes per Cypher level. So you rolled a 4, so for 40 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes per Cypher level. Okay. Let me update that.
Extreme. I love it.
It will last for the rest of the session and be used. We'll just say I don't think it'll. Yeah.
God. I need to get this weapon enhancement again somehow.
Does this ship have like a bow of some sort with like an open view?
Sure, yeah. There's observation windows through various points.
Do I have a device to call Biscuity Crumbles?
Yeah, I mean, I assume you exchanged contact information.
Yeah, I'm going to call him and go to the front viewing window and reenact Titanic.
Awesome. All right, Ziegler goes off to reenact Titanic with Biscuity Crumbles.
Potentially more arm wrestling, but nondescript.
Yeah. They go to arm wrestle. All right, the rest of you, what do you do as
I'll
the
go
FTL counts down?
I'll head off with old Seymour Valentine.
Yeah, if we go to the bridge, I'll go to the bridge.
I need to remember.
Although I am tempted to try and steal the gems off those breastplates and stuff.
You absolutely should. Oh, what are we doing? We loot the corpses.
There's time pressure. You can stop to loot the corpses if you want, but you know that attack is coming.
Yeah, we've got to stop the other like group again.
Okay, do the job we're hired for, I guess.
So stop us from getting in a fight of like with another like 5 people. I don't know.
Ziggler's just run off at this point, though.
Yeah.
So you manage to make your way to the bridge, and as you stumble your way on, you can see on the big main screen it's counting down in seconds now until FTL transit begins. Various staff are like locked into their acceleration benches. The 3 main bridge crew, the captain, first officer, and communications officer are all strapped into their chairs in front of their consoles. You come storming up. Some of you are a little bloodied and disheveled, trailing the pools of blood that you stepped in behind you. People are getting out of your way or strapped into their benches, rushing, ready for FTL.
Yeah, I think my revolver is still like glowing green, and if anything, like I'm so angry, like maybe it's glowing with greater intensity. So when I step into the bridge, like I have my revolver still in my hand, and I just directly point it at Ivory.
Just before that happens, I think as you're going through the corridors, you see Amos and a group of security officers running the other way. Like they don't stop to ask you anything because FTL, but like there were shots fired. You hear them chattering about like we heard gunfire. The engine room is they're all running towards where the combat just was.
It's fine.
They would have been there.
They can deal with it.
Gems.
You burst out into the bridge, point your revolver.
Nikora's going to
Jeff
steal the
and-
one-liner. He's going to go, "We're relieving you of duty, Mr. Ivory."
Seymour angrily looks at Nikora but doesn't say anything.
I think Blodwyn wanders over to the panel that he was using before, and starts looking through the like recent messages to see if there is one that has been more recently sent from Ivory again.
I think if you look over, you can see that he's in the message client as you're storming onto the bridge. And Betancourt spins in his chair and goes, "What are you doing up? We're about to translate into FTL. Get in benches, you mad people."
I just put my gun at Ivory and like tell him to put his hands up.
Yeah.
Ivory turns looking somewhat startled, and the captain's like, "What is going on?" And Jeff is like, "Hey, what's the meaning of this?" You know, and Biles is shaking in his little communications officer boots.
Yeah, I think I make it abundantly clear. Like I think there is an analog hammer to my revolver, but I think it's purely cosmetic. And I like
You you cock the hammer on 3 separate occasions while threatening him.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like,
Captain, this man is about to transmit an instruction for your ship to be boarded. I highly recommend you.
can I ask them to cancel the jump to FTL? We can't, right? We're only one ship.
Yeah, we're
There's
not.
no way to escape FTL at this point, no. You pass the point of no return. You know, the nose of the ferry is already translating. It's just counting down until you pass through the threshold.
Yeah, oh man, I just want to shoot him, but that's too many repercussions. We've got to stop this man before he does something we're all gonna regret.
Yeah. This session has kind of been focused on the internals of this transport ship, but the ferry is huge. Like, it's probably the second or third largest in the sector, not counting like the movable planets that are Sihi and the Amalhart homeworld. But yeah, it's huge. There's thousands of ships attached around this ferry along with you. Yeah, you're slowly dipping into the FTL pool, the crackling green and purple and blue energy suspended in a giant ancient precursor technology ring that nobody really knows what's going on with it. But
Yeah, I'd be like,
Captain, that those interlopers aren't jumping onto the ship post FTL. They're latched onto the side. They're here now. You let your first mate continue his duties. He's gonna get a whole world of hurt down in here. I've completely lost my accent. Give me a second while I try and find it.
I think the captain who hired you and has trust in you looks over to his first officer and goes, Jeff? Is it your doing? He goes, you fucking moron. I've had to work under you for 20 years.
I stun him.
I think you successfully zap Ivory as his hand is dramatically hovering over the attack now message. And it convulses in his chair
I
as
do hate the villain monologue.
you finally drop it into FTL and you're all knocked either prone or into a wall or against something as you finally dip into FTL. The attack, however, has been aborted.
I intentionally make it look
Jeffrey
like
is
I'm doing a cool action slide backwards.
I've got a really,
Cool.
got a really, really strong image of Ziegler maglock to the front with biscuit crumbles being lifted up.
You didn't even wait until we finished the job. You were like instantly like, let's go. I'm ready.
I'm done fighting. Back to it.
Yeah. So I think dramatic scene of Nikora lunging forward to stun Ivory Wash. I think we time skip a little bit. So you all sat around a conference table with Captain Betancourt. He goes, right, talk me through this again. What the limpet ship? And he's looking at Bloodwin. You're all sat in like this room up at the top around like a conference table of some kind. You're in FTL, but it's past the turbulent point. You can see it rushing by the windows, and it has a countdown. It'll be 8 or 9 hours until you arrive in Telas.
Yeah, Blogwin kind of opens the wrist computer and activates the projector that's built into the conference table. It's like and starts just like projecting pictures of like
It's PowerPoint program.
here's all the messages that we found in your records that we weren't supposed to access. Hey, here's the quick snapshot I took of the inside of the limpet ship after we killed all the people. And yeah, turns out your first mate was in on this. Some of them, for some reason, were attached, so not all of them came through the connection to the ferry, it seems. Perhaps that is why they so easily overwhelmed your security team, the pincer movement of sorts.
I think you've definitely collected enough evidence to convince the captain. You all have an uneventful FTL translation back to Centaur Telas. You get on the CS Wanderer and make your way back to the TTGI station, which is the center of free agent activity in the universe.
Now hold on a cotton picking second here. Don't think I'm not noticing you not letting us loot the bodies. What's on their bodies, Cal?
Well, you're gonna have to spar with the security agents for that one. There's gonna be an argument over whether it's whose salvage it belongs to, because it is on their ship, although they are your kills.
I will acid melt Amos's face if he doesn't give me the body.
I'm just picturing you have your revolver pointed at his face, you move it 1 inch to the right, fire into the wall as it melts, and then you move it back in front of his face.
You can loot. You can loot 3 times damaged armor worth 600 each.
Okay, so there's 5 of us, 600, 1800. My basic mathematics is bad.
Not gonna be that easy. You have 3 damaged armor.
Oh, you mean I have to like find someone to buy it off of me?
You will do, yeah.
It'll be 320 HAL each.
Okay.
And they're sold.
if we sold it.
Damaged armor. You said it's worth 5 or 600 each?
600 each, yeah.
And then I have 3 of them. Okay.
You have 3 of them, yeah.
What about their cool
don't-
swords?
The security staff, by the time you get there, there's no cool weapons left. The security staff of Amos is like, don't know what you're on about.
Yeah. I let it go. I don't threaten him again for that.
Yeah. I tell you what, you can find the blow dart that missed embedded in a wall.
Ooh, I do take that.
Yes, you can find that. You can just mark it as Golden Stag Blow Dart.
Golden Stag Blow Dart.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Alright. Anything else we do before we move on to rewards?
I'm chill.
Anything left on the ship that you would like to investigate or find out about before we...
I break into the guy's cargo to find out what it is.
You've been at some protest. I think you have the cooperation of the captain to investigate at this point.
Mhm.
I think that Yovin, before you break in, will pull you to one side and admit that inside his crates, underneath the regular commodities, are endangered species for food that are being kept still and cool. It's raw fish on ice that are endangered or otherwise species, some potentially sentient, that have being sold to the rich and famous in the center system. Deals in a black market of prohibited foodstuffs, is what you find out about Yevon Mottel.
Now I need to decide where Bloodin's morals lie on that kind of thing.
Yo,
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Extort him for all he's worth.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But yeah, I think that's exactly what Bloodin does. It is like kind of like looks over his shoulder at the captain who's ready to like rip open his crates, and then looks back at him and is like, "Well,
We won't deal with it this time, but you can definitely make a note that you have blackmail over Yevon Gertrude Mottel, the cattle trader."
well, on Yevon
I will post it into Roll20.
Gertrude."
His name is Yevon Gertrude Mottel.
Name, to be fair. Strong name.
I got surprisingly close to the correct spelling.
Good job.
Cool.
What strong name.
So,
But not as strong as General Caesar of the Rubicon.
Yeah, you all managed to make your way to TGDI station. I assume you submit your report to Agent Wolf.
Mhm.
You'll go aboard the CS Wanderer unless anyone would like to go anywhere else at this time, rather than to the free agent hub.
No, I've got a good feeling about these people.
Whoa.
Cool. So, for the information that they are the Golden Stag Revolutionary Front, and giving description of their iconography, their weapon styles, and the name of the pair of ships, the information you gathered, that's 2,000 howl that you get to split amongst yourself. And for finding the traitor and stopping the robbery of the Red Dawn Rise, you gain 6,000 howl, so 8,000 howl in total to split amongst the 5 of you.
Oh, that's not. Well, I mean, it's
1,600.
pretty easy, but it's
Yeah.
it's not as nice and round.
1,600 each. Not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, you can all take 1,600 howl each. Which, I appreciate that you've done it as an item, Sir Frederick, but you can also just put it in the money slot.
2 or 1.
So you're assuming that he has it on one cred stick. No, he has 2,000. He has over 2,000 cred sticks, each with one out of it.
Frederick doesn't understand what's
Frederick,
going on.
you can definitely make a note that you have Biscuity Crumble's number.
I was gonna say, if there's something left on the ship for us to investigate, wink wonk, wink wonk.
I like the idea that I've got a little pendant with his picture in. The way I was imagining Biscuity Crumble is like he's a middle-aged, quite overweight, bald guy. That's how I was imagining it.
So I would challenge your point on that there is anything left to investigate there.
They spent as much time as they could. I didn't aid in the investigation whatsoever.
I think while at the end of the episode, the camera's panning around, we get the montage of you like getting to your various hidey holes and homes on the center station, chilling in Cacti Oasis Bar and Casino, all the familiar places. As TTGI's very large station, you can do whatever you like there. Basically, you can find whatever. I think we cut to credits as you're collecting your money and all smiling, End of Ocean's 11 style. And as the credits are rolling, we pan into what must be the CS Wanderer at night, mid-transit between the Red Dawn Rise and TTGI. And Sir Frederick, I think you're up in your bed. We hear, I miss you too.
Hooey.
As we fade out on this scene of Sir Frederick having a phone call with Biscuity Crumbles late at night on the CS Wanderer.
Swipe the camera away with a really fucking angry face.
They're so good together.
Break the fourth wall.
I mean, I was half expecting Sir Frederick to make his way back to his apartment, open the door, and find Biscuity Crumbles there already.
No, not quite. He's still the dockmaster for the Red Dawn Rise, but we'll see if Mr. Biscuity pops up again anywhere. Mr. Crumbles.
Oh, it's the best name ever.
God.
Stupid.
Ivor and Nikora also have a ham-off battle.
I have had the NPC Biscuity Crumbles ready to go since before session 1. I'm glad I got to bust him out.
Did you expect it to go this way, though, mate?
Did you expect Biscuity Crumbles to have a romantic involvement in the first session that he appeared?
No, not even a little bit. Completely threw me for a loop. Yeah, thanks for playing, everyone. Sorry that end got a little rushed, but we're pushing over time. But yeah, good job. I had a really good time. Thanks for playing.
Awesome, thank you.
Good job, everybody else, for the investigation.
I had a really good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.